So my eyes on the target. No, no. Till the battle's won, till kingdom come. I'll never run. Best to give me your loyalty, 'cause I'm taking the world, you'll see. They'll be calling me, they'll be calling me royalty. Best to give me your loyalty, 'cause I'm taking the world, you'll see. They'll be calling me, they'll be calling me royalty. I broke all the cages, no, I won't sit and take it. No, no. They left me for dead, I guess I'll never learn. Every time I break, there's just more pain to burn. They'll never, never, never learn. Till the battle's won, till kingdom come. I'll never run. Best to give me your loyalty, 'cause I'm taking the world, you'll see. They'll be calling me, they'll be calling me royalty. Best to give me your loyalty, 'cause I'm taking the world, you'll see. They'll be calling me, they'll be calling me royalty. A place where you can run free. Time does not exist. Take a chance when the road before us falls into our face. I can't hold on, I can't remain so strong. We have the same old bond, but everything is wrong. My love is gone, but I've been born. I can't make it on my I'm reaching out, but all I feel is hollow. I wanna make you work, but all I do is make you worse. The truth is a damn hard pill to swallow. Don't you wanna come on over? Don't you wanna work it out? Don't you wanna love me better, love me better, love me now? Don't you wanna fix our problems? Baby, I can show you how. Don't you wanna love me better, love me better, love me now? Don't you wanna come on over? Don't you wanna work it
Practice them all around the map. It's one of these like unplayable games when a player just tees off and you can win.
Don't you wanna fix our problems? Baby, I can show you how.
So close to that
Don't you wanna love me better, love me better, love me now?
everybody's just looking at it thinking, can you do that again? Can you continue on that path?
Well, funnily enough, apparently he was playing on 70 ping in Israel, and now that he comes and he plays on LAN, it's crazy. So I think if that's the reason, that he's gonna keep fragging, but it may not be 40 a game though.
I think this is a kind of a developing storyline in CS right now, like finding new talent, where you need to go with all of these academy teams, players like being signed as 16-year-olds. You need to go somewhere to find the new and upcoming stars, and like the Middle East has been becoming that. It's like Spinks here, we saw Flames, Nerds also for Endpoint, Boros, like all of these players are becoming just that's a talent pool rare for the tier 2 scene right now.
Yeah, and I respect when a team actually goes out and take a risk, right? Take a risk, bring a new player we haven't seen. If he's shining in FPL, if he's shining in his individual league, he must have something. So foster that talent, give him the conditions, give him circumstances to shine, and then we might end up with Spinks again.
It's going really well. Let's talk about maybe something that needs a little bit of improvement at time. Hades in that lineup as well, who has the capability to have great impact, but unfortunately it's been a bit inconsistent, Prof.
Yeah, this is kind of the story of Hades since he got into the lineup. He came in as a stand-in when Alu was moving out. Destroyed for a couple of tournaments online. They decided, okay, let's just sign this guy. And as things went on, kind of tapered off, right? Especially as they got into the tier 1 tournaments, playing against the best teams in the world. There we didn't see him perform as well. But then again, at EPL, he was one of their best players, and arguably their best players alongside Spinks. And that is the level that I think we need from ENCE for them to be a consistent top 5, top 6 team that they are right now, right?
I guess Pro League was the one shining light you were hoping to see from Hades, because there's a kind of a dangerous, cloudy pattern if you look at his stats. He is currently playing his second worst event with ENCE, only better than PGL Major Stockholm. And that is my issue. If your 2 worst events are the most important, the most anticipated ones, then you know where I'm going with this. There might be just a mental barrier that he has to break through, because in EPL, he showed us he can.
When we take a look at Snappy, the IGL, and kind of his career history, we've heard that he's a pretty open-minded IGL, right? He lets the players find their form. That's going to be crucial, I think, to activate Hades as well. And technically speaking, this environment, like it was at ESL Winter, like it was at EPL, like a LAN environment in a studio, not on the biggest stage, should be the best for them to thrive right now.
Yeah, they have a history of performing in these like studio environments, EPLs, that's been their bread and butter in terms of like getting into playoffs, maybe winning in playoffs. I think Snappy, as we see here, like his history is insane. Even took a couple of years off of CS, went into the finance world, decided that kind of sucks, came back to play, and he built this like tier 2 Danish scene essentially, like with Heroic and with a lot of these players that came up the ranks. And now with the ENCE international team, he has actually the opportunity to bring in these like stars that he never had in the Danish scene, because all of them were just being picked off by the better ones.
Yeah, he fought for his position right here. I think that's the sentiment that I have. I personally thought before that end story that Snappy was done. Like, we had seen the best of him. He wouldn't come back. And now he's proving everybody that he has the ability as an IGL to build that roster like a puzzle and perform with it.
Let's take a look at the map, Vito, while we reset the stories for one last time. Of course, Anonymo, it would be absolutely huge if they make it. And for ENCE, it would be expected that they make it to the major and they want to build on that legacy that they're currently in. Overpass first.
Yeah, I think this is one of the angles that, of course, we have to paint the real picture. Anonymo number 69 in the world, ENCE number 6. But when you look at the map pool, there is a kind of an angle where Inferno permaban for ENCE, one of the worst, if not the worst map for Anonymo. So that's a plus. Then Nuke gets banned out by Anonymo because they play 7 maps, so they can remove ENCE's best map. And now you're kind of in a middle ground where things can happen.
Yes, the caveat is that there wasn't really a way for ENCE to put Anonymo from the get-go in a horrible position. Sometimes it happens in a matchup that there is such a difference, such a contrast in map pools play that you're going to be stuck in a bad way. Here we knew that Anonymo would at least have something to fight for and fight with on their maps.
We've seen that Anonymo, when they got into tricky situation, overtimes or when they needed a clutch to happen, they pulled it off, like against the likes of Entropic and against G2. How does Overpass suit what we've seen from Anonymo so far?
Good question. I think the way they beat G2, there was a lot of innocent early on.
Absolutely.
That was a great way just to start off against a big favorite team, to put them on the back foot, feel like good about yourself. One thing that went Anonymo's way so far, pistol rounds, 83% win rate against ENCE's 33. So that's an angle. If that continues in that trajectory, that's always something that can give you an edge as an underdog.
Allow me to be devil's advocate, right? What we have seen against G2 is almost impossible to see again. To have Innocent start with that 15 frag in 6 rounds, literally deciding the fate of the pistol in the first gun round. If that man can do it again, then I have egg on my face. I'll be really happy. But this cannot be like a sustainable path to victory. No, it wouldn't.
No, it wouldn't. But let's hope that Innocent has a huge game, as does Anonymo, and we can make this competitive. But ENCE, they are, of course, the favorites going into this one. Let's head over to Chad and Dinko.
Thank you very much, Sharks. I'm really looking forward. Today, Poland can't lose, Chad. I guess that's the one positive everybody can take away.
Yeah, and I want to know what type of egg. Are we talking poached? We got boiled? Are we talking scrambled? What type of egg is Maniac? Ostrich egg on his face. Well, that one's going to be a big one. And maybe it could be a bit of an upset here with what Prof was saying about this map pool, the middle ground. And also, if you take a look at the 3 maps that we have here, Overpass, Mirage, and that of Ancient, this is the same 3 maps that both of these teams have played in their best of ones just to get themselves into the best of 3. So we've seen them go and show what they have so far on these battlegrounds. I'm excited to see what they have today, going toe-to-toe. You can see the odds on the screen quite heavily favoring ENCE, and you can understand why. They were just in the finals against FaZe of EPL. They should be the favorites in this matchup.
Yeah, it's a question of consistency coming into this roster now as well. How can they stay at that level? Will they be able to do so? And I love the point that the Prof brought up, and it's a great one for Poland today. The first major for a full Polish team since 2018, if Anonymo can make it through today. That was the old VP roster, the Polish VP, back in Face It Major in 2018.
Yeah, that's a couple of years between drinks, really, isn't it here? So, look, we're going to have some representation either way after this matchup here today. And Prof was talking about the pistols going in the favor of Anonymo here, being one of those stat lines for us to keep our eyes on. Let's see, as we dive into their CT start here on Overpass, if they're able to pick up another, silently descending on the ladder in towards connector with 3 from ENCE.
Look at the long play forward here from Innocent as well as getting a lot of info. But in the meantime, Venki swinging in, taking Madden and Spinks out of the round immediately. Bomb is being found. And with ENCE off to this start, their B split no longer looks plausible. And everybody's gone down to the Julies.
Oh, and the push from Innocent here is going to find Snappy any second. The exchange of early bullets has gone either way here, but they know where Snappy is. They're going to run him down. Look at all the blue dots heading his way on the radar. Giving him a chance, though. He's taking 2 here, Snappy.
Yeah. Oh! Snappy with another, and now you start to sweat if you're Anonymo. Your pistol starting to get a little bit worrying, but Tudson will close it out. Oh, yeah, just bodies being thrown at Snappy. You
don't want to give Snappy one of those chances, right? This is the thing. We know it's the in-game leader of the team, but how many times have we seen a Snappy just 30 frags and he's just pulled it across the line for his squad here? So almost drawing it back after this veggie mow down over towards connected with the Julies. Great to see them actually playing a little bit of a factor here. Snappy will get a couple on the way out the door, but the aggressive maneuver, the heads-up play from Anonymo will put another pistol round win in that column. And they're actually going to get an AK out here, so Madden's been dropped that one across. Those kills for Snappy immediately coming into play here.
Yeah, pretty sharp tool to give the AK-2 here, Madden. Loves to get a couple of opening fights going his way, and he charges straight to it. Immediately takes out Tudson, and an advantage found for ENCE.
And that AK, honestly, only possible because of those Snappy kills, which is crazy when you think about that, right?
He'll be coming back to bite you.
Gets himself $900. That's that on to the... Round loss bonus. And Veggie, sorry, will draw one back. We've had the CEO on the phone letting us know that it's not Vegemite.
He's certainly mighty, but he's Veggie. It's probably like Vega, probably, something like that as well. I mean, it's pretty hard to pronounce words in Polish. But Oskar, she's about to come around the corner. Actually looking for the peek on out. A couple of ENCE players about to come into his crosshair. Shadow spotted of Maddie.
The
that
trade
position is good enough, but a quick kill from Hades comes back. Innocence on the flank.
Yeah, he's going to take all this bathrooms control here. Coming back to deal with it now is going to be Snappy. No armor for Snappy, so has to be a little bit worried about this MP9 that's now in lethal range. Snappy's going to go down here, and that's going to be picked on up. Innocent with a better weapon to retake this win.
They're actually going to double up and bind here. ENCE is their move, their decision. Hades plays the Deagle, leads the charge, and now D-Hat tasked with dealing with the cross. Oh, the kills keep coming in for ENCE. Hades and D-Hat taking them down. Innocent thinks it could be long. It hasn't confirmed both positions? Okay.
Silenced M4. I think the silenced M4, they're from bank, right? They weren't aware because they were taking those fights over each other's shoulder.
Yeah.
And both those kills came in immediately, and one of them was with the silenced M4. So the comms just not flowing freely there for Anonymo. Couldn't quite understand where that came on in. And that one stings. They get this pistol conversion, but they immediately lose to the follow-up. And again, it is that AK of Snappy that opens up the play. Good to see Hades finding some impact here. The desk was talking about him not necessarily having the best of times in this event so far. Would be a great time for him to show up, right? I thought that we were starting to see Hades with a bit more consistency after that EPO showing. Because him on the AWP, he can be a bit of a clutch factor for the team as well. They have a lot of firepower in this ENCE roster. It's just about getting it online at the same time. Spinks, yesterday, they even highlighted this. In 24 rounds of play, 40 frags. That's just nonsense.
We literally couldn't believe it. We thought something was broken about the scoreboard we were reading.
Yeah, I had to check with production in cast there to make sure everything was looking good as we were doing that secondary stream. But
Innocent slipping around the back. Long bathrooms to the kill, and Hades had the bomb. So Innocent has taken away his kill and now drops back into the bathrooms. Luckily, Spinks was up towards the party, and he will clean up the two remaining players he spotted go deep into that corner. Now ENCE can recover the bomb and probably recover the round here, unless Oskarish can do anything from the stairway.
yeah, this connector fires the next one on the docket here for Spinks. So Veggie looking for his chance with the Deagle here. Might be greeted an opportunity. Spinks being extremely diligent. You can see that on the X-ray. Worried about his flank, worried about connector, worried about a little bit of everything here. Is pressure from Demo now being applied, and it looks like they want to hold on to these Deagles. Go for the double dip into the next. They've been dealt with. That multi-kill of Spinks is enough to secure the second round here for ENCE. A nice steady start. Pistol lost, but Force Buy back, and they win out the Force Buy wars here early. They haven't gone for that rally, that long exchange. Been able to deal with this one almost immediately. And only losing one player of Hades here who was pants in the back of the head with the Deagle. So a very good start today for ENCE on that secondary stream. We do have matches coming to you all day. Those are of the elimination variety. Entropic taking on Heat. You're going to have Bad News Eagles taking on ASG, NIP Sinners, Astralis versus G2, and Spirit versus Endpoint. So some games all day.
We will also stipulate the NIP Sinners game is not for elimination, but
qualification.
Yes, just the first few games are on the other side of things, and it's going to be heartbreaking for a few sides on that stream. But here, this is a great opportunity for both of these sides. ENCE, a team you have to expect to be there in the major. Anonymo, a pleasant surprise.
Yeah, and Anonymo, we can, while we have these pistols just come out here again, maybe start off. But we got to cover off their G2 matchup for the opening game of this group on Mirage. And it was a very exciting game. Just to build a bit more on what Maniac was saying about the really good start from Maniac, it was Veggie and a really good start from Innocent. It was Innocent and Veggie, the two who were putting up absolute bombs in terms of impact. They won out a 2v5 pistol round. Innocent was having a couple of massive shots to his name. And then once we got into the second half is where we saw the other three members start to warm into it. Iskarish had a lot of information plays over towards A. Tudson started to hit a couple shots necessary, especially once we got into overtime with the AWP. And Demo, he's shown us some good mechanical ability, especially on the Ancient game we covered off yesterday as well.
Oh, absolutely. Well, it was incredibly fun to watch over on Ancient. But here for ENCE, not too many problems. They're cutting through the pistols, they're cutting through the weaker weapons, getting the job done. And it's just a matter of time before we add 3 to the scoreboard. Hades, interesting point brought up by Maniac that it is actually his second worst event performance so far for ENCE. Only better than that of the PGL Stockholm majors. So
yeah,
pretty important circuits to be missing on. So good to see Hades getting a few kills early on. He does get taken out by Innocent on the way out of this round. Upgraded AK available. A little chuckle for ENCE. They're feeling quite happy about the start they've got. But here comes Anonymo into the buy.
Even spamming some bodies right there. So starting to get saucy with it early here.
Try and get in your head.
Yeah, well, this is the thing, right? We know that Dihar and Hades both being Polish representatives here on one side. I'm sure they've played with a couple of these members on Anonymo throughout their careers, no doubt about that. And here we go. Mac 10 is going to be retained here for Madden. He has 7k to his name, so could have gone into an AK if he likes, but this might be something fast and furious as he heads swiftly over towards Connector. Deep. Monster Smoke is going to be deployed. A molly back the other way here from Madden just to try and get out this Connector control, and Spinks needs to be careful here because Skarish's bullets are going to keep him on notice. Chipped on down to 74, but will grab this control over towards Sewer. So as far as the default spread for ENCE goes, they've got that first little key piece of real estate alongside of Connector. This is a lot to have early. And it's a 4-man B lean right now from Anonymo on this CT side. It's just very susceptible over towards A. You can see that rotation coming back over now. Innocent starting to make their way back up the stairs to greet on over with Tudson's A site AWP. Now Tudson, I don't think we've seen the best his AWP has to offer yet. I think there's still opportunities for him to start to impress here, and this might be a good chance to do so.
Well, he's getting more aggressive. Flash claims the information. Puts him in a difficult spot. You don't really want to re-peek around that long side of the bathroom, so you're now in a tough spot. You keep getting flashed. So Tudson is sticking around. He's playing the dangerous game and goes into the re-peek, and doing so will force him into the AWP of Hades.
Not many head-to-heads you're going to see here, but Overpass is a good map for it. So Chalk went up to Hades there over Tudson on the big green, and they can sort things out now. 40 seconds remaining. This Connector control and this short control still established from ENCE, and they're actually slinking their way back on down towards B. This could... Oh, I was going to say start to fall apart, but Madden's found one on the Deagle here. Innocent's hit the deck.
Yeah, came in from the long bathrooms, though, and just the check from Madden, just cutting off any potential flanks. Now ENCE can focus in upon their B play. We're going to need a big hold here out of Demo. And Becky towards Monster. It's a single kill. Spinks clears both out, and they move forward into the site. Madden finally taken down, but is cleaned out in the trade. And ENCE, it's systematic here. There's nothing too spicy about this, nothing too crazy. It's just simple Counter-Strike here and Overpass.
Yeah, with that opening kill and the second one coming their way for free, we didn't catch it on screen, but if it's a Deagle shot to the head right there, I feel that Madden may have had that one dead to rights. Once they're able to do that, right, the fact that they actually went back into the stack, it could have been problematic, but taking care of business, just getting the necessary kills. Walton on in, 4-1 scoreline now.
Yeah, good start here for ENCE. Haven't really been worried just yet. You can remember back to that upset that Anonymo got in their opening game. They made it immediately scrappy coming in against G2.
It's a bit harder to do on a map like Overpass, I would say, right? When you think about Mirage, it's the map that we will be going into next. Both teams have played Mirage. The order for both these teams in the best of one so far, by the way, let's just recount that, was Mirage, Overpass, and Ancient. And both of them lost Overpass in the middle. Both of them won Mirage as the opener and won Ancient as the third of the best of threes they played.
Well, BlameF did manhandle ENCE in their Overpass game. It was quite a brutalizing
That's
affair.
right. They denied them. I think it was like one opening kill in the entire first half. They were just getting absolutely blanked, weren't they?
Yeah, I think BlameF was like 25-3 at one point, I think. Just crazy performance. But 4-1 here for ENCE. And we now look to Anonymo's pistols. They haven't really posed too much of a threat in this, but Innocent's got around the back. He's wrapped around. He's going to go for the knife. And okay, he's got the AK, and his teammates alongside of him. And Anonymo have got some ground here, and Spinks realizes, damn, I've got to go back up and help my team out. Dihad deals with a long play of Tudson, but that's information that the players are still around the bathrooms area. Innocent with a picked up AK. Well, I said just mere moments ago, they haven't made this one scrappy yet. But here Anonymo start to threaten, and they've gotten themselves into the advantage position. That's a massive kill for Spinks. Taking out Innocent, taking out the AK, has put it down. Ooh, well, I said to 2 Deagles, but now they find an AWP.
Yeah, well, they can get back over towards B here. They have a smoke for Heaven. They could even drop one towards site. Skarish is starting to rotate over, but won't be in position in time to deny this utility because they're not sure what laser. The other side of this one, Util now posted out towards the water position, and a shot needed to hit right there if they wanted a chance to stall this one out. Now it's the AWP of Veggie, and maybe you're thinking save might be the better option. This is a nice weapon to have picked up for free.
He still fancies himself in this one, and he's got it down to the 1v1. Veggie starts to consider all possible positions that Spinks could be playing from. The sharpest tool in ENCE's shed yesterday, looking to save them in this round, and he spotted out. He'll swing out, ENCE will get the round, but damn, down to 1v1 there, Chad. That comes off the back of a couple of pistols.
Yeah, nice stuff there from Innocent, right? I guess the knife kill gets a lot of cash coming on through to drop that one across to Tudson to wield that again, but a round that felt like it was theirs every day of the week starts to get a little bit chaotic, doesn't it? Innocent putting himself in the thick of things, and you talked about him having to make it scrappy while trying to do exactly that again. And isn't Spinks just such a nuisance? He's always hanging out towards that tree over towards Fountain so late. You can never account that he's gone on by. But we are back into the buys, and Spinks is looking for the same space again. Going to lob out that Molotov over towards the sandbag position to give himself some control. The extinguish in the space has been taken back here. Veggie going to get up close and personal. And they have done this little flash play into the doors again. Let's see if they want to consider it one more time. He has demo just up towards sandbag. The door's blown open. Don't worry about a bloody flash. Worry about a bloody fight here as Veggie might get greeted with one.
No, Veggie starts to fight. Ooh, very lucky to actually come out of that battle alive, but also not taking significant damage, right? He's down to 78. Yes, he's taking a little bit off the top, but that could have been worse. Tudson, quick reposition up towards Flower Beds. Flash, he dodges it, goes out for the swing, unable to land the headshot, and we'll just drop back to a more passive position, but they're continuing this, Chad. They're being quite quick about it.
He wants to fight this old Tudson. Ooh, cops a nade on the head here. Might have to think better of it. Innocent's now left on his own.
Yeah, if he draws the attention away, though, Innocent would have been able to set up for a couple of picks. So Tudson is hanging around. He will draw the attention. This is setting up kills for Anonymo. It is perfect between Tudson and Innocent to shut down the long play events.
Really good response here from Anonymo. All that early space towards water meant they could have a third man over towards A. Tudson couldn't back down. It looked like he had given up after that nade comes through, but stays. Backs up his teammate. Dha grabs one back, but Tudson onto Spinks, and that should be the round now. 33 seconds on the clock, and oof. Wow. Dha almost adjusts there, but that's a good round there from Anonymo, their first gun round of play.
Well, ENCE finally put to an end in their streak of rounds, and Anonymo won the pistol. ENCE won every round after that, and Anonymo finally getting one on the board. So tactical timeout needed here for ENCE straight away. After that initial round loss.
You don't want to let it get too out of control, right? Because you can go into a buy now, but if you lose this one, your cash is going to be strapped on a lot of your members. Lost bonus bottom, the barrel, and a buy again for ENCE is going to be difficult. So I really like this timeout that's being called from Snappy and Saw over there. The Brain Trust to just have a chit-chat about how they want to proceed and make sure they don't get thrust down towards the pistols. They could make this a very strong first half of play. You want to get through this as quick as you like it. Qualify yourself for that major. If you're just recounting as well the matches that Anonymo have had to play in this event, G2, Players, and Entropic, some of the biggest names in Counter-Strike at the moment, and Anonymo have taken down 2 of those 3. G2 coming in as the world number 4, Players they lost to as the world number 3, and Entropic is the world number 14, so really good stuff. Anonymo are quite literally the world number 69, that's not even me having a gag.
I'm sure they're going to shoot up the rankings pretty soon if they can take this win versus ENCE. Veggie, boosted up, gets the lineup. No reaction to the boost play from Hades. And the nade is going to surely fall, but he's going to drop right on him. Veggie just shuts down 3 players out of the timeout, and it's down to 2 already.
That's not how they planned this one to go whatsoever. I think they wanted to try and buy this sewer control back in a big way, but Veggie with the boost on up, the change up in the CT hold. It's been strong, and it's locked this one down 2 on 5, and a couple of kills back, I'm sure, is on the agenda now for Madden and Snappy as they trundle forward, playing behind the fire. Snappy does take a kill, so Veggie, the hero of the round, is dead. But look at the push. Look how much a nuisance Innocent is being. He takes so many liberties and risks within their games, and it tends to pay off more often than not, and I think it will again.
Well, he spotted the bomb now. He knows he just needs to watch for it. He's got such a good angle. Bomb down, Madden out, and just Snappy left now. And 1 versus 4, he knows he's surrounded. He needs mistakes to come his way. He needs fights like that.
If Tudson misses, could have a chance to capitalize the 3rd kill here. Still difficult to see how he wins this round, though.
Tudson does miss a few, and there's another one. Snappy pushes in towards him. Tudson's now down. They're fighting him. So close. Oscarish. Very lucky. Snappy didn't have much ammo left there. He was down to 5 HP. An extra boy. Snappy would then be in the 1v1 and had a bit of time to go back and get the bomb. So you're giving him too many chances here in Anonymo. Need to tighten that up.
It's a good amount of damage being done here by Snappy because this is how it kicked on off. Veggie just up and over. And not even being considered right. The silence 7-4, you can see the orb that was just posted, not even looking in the right direction. So Hades expecting a push elsewhere. Does go on down to that holy hand grenade, and wow, I think ENCE, because of how much damage they've done, they've actually been lured back into another buy here. So a couple of AKs, couple of Tech 9s. See how far they can push the issue here, because Anonymo's cash, it's not bolstered just yet to secure them. Another buy, and Hades with an opener. Innocent is going to trade this one out. He's now been noted. The pressure from Snappy's calls can start to take some space elsewhere, and here it is. Spinks is walking in. Tudson needs to hit this shot and will.
Lovely. Tudson drops Spinks, gives Anonymo the advantage. And if there was a criticism I would have to throw out there for Anonymo, it has been sometimes, Tudson's misses. He had a lot of missed opportunities, so we'll see if he can be much more clean today. Innocent pushes in towards the bathroom. Dha taken out. Now Madden and Snappy just can rattle back, trying to take Innocent out. Damage has been done, so they know he's low. Around the corner, they will check him.
Yeah, good clear, right? You can see the pace there. They had a very good idea that he hadn't had a chance to escape all the way back towards the site. So the hard clear. And still plenty of time to make this round work. Demo push forward in towards the bathrooms, and Tudson's actually over towards Connector here as well, but they've already been able to make their way through the back lines. A player will need to respond to this and head back over towards the B site. 2 smokes, a flash, a HE, and a Molotov to try and piece this one together. Veggie's the man tasked with getting over towards B, and he's a smoke and a flash of his own, but how much does he want to push the issue here? Because he has to question how close can they already be back now. Still a lot of room, and the steps of ENCE starting to show their intention. But they just have to get past 1. If they can take out Veggie, they're in.
Veggie's going to hide behind the barrels as they come on up over the top. Madden not considering this position, ends up getting dropped. Snappy, oh, lovely quick headshot, but Tudson was already at short.
That's what we want to see from Tudson, right? That kill onto Spinks was a big one to make, and then an essential one there to close it down so it doesn't get out of control again. So an opportunity now for Anonymo. The Poles starting to get themselves a bit of a comeback of somewhat.
When you look at their player cams, you guys at home can do this. Just take a look at their player cams after the round ends. The sigh of relief that comes through from these players right now is crazy.
Well, that's the thing, right? You've got 4.1 on Tudson going forward, 3.4 on Demo. The rest of them are all below that 2K mark, so there still might be a couple of wobbles, but this right now is one you want to keep as a bit of a clean sheet. Kill as many as you can without going on down. That's probably the goal every single round, but this is just pebbles and pistols and stepping on out. Agren with this long maneuver. 1, 2,
deadly pebbles.
Yep. Those in glass houses shouldn't throw stones. That's an issue.
Yes, now ENCE have an upgraded weapon. Demo is about to swing out into the long fight. Madden, shoulder spotted. He's been hitting the gym too much, and Demo has to drop back.
Yeah, Demo yet to get a kill here. Now would be a perfect time for him to grab something.
Oh, D had a chance there. Oh, gets tapped away. Now, maybe this is the round where we get to see some of that Demo mechanical skill we talked about yesterday. Let's see if he's able to get something done here. 1 up front bathrooms. 2 players coming from that side for ENCE. Veggie's going down through the connector, clearing that out, but ENCE taking their time. They're sitting in the bathrooms right now.
Need to be very careful here. Just ahead of this smoke is Hades. He has a gap to work with.
They've lost them. They've lost the T side right now here in Anonymo, and
there's a window of opportunity. If Hades just walks forward off of this, he might be able to waltz into the side, but it's a Madden's fight here onto Demo, and can't convert it. But Hades should come around the back for the trade.
3 HP the difference.
Doesn't
Hades
want to risk it.
Needs to go a little bit more proactive here. The smoke is going to go down. He's going to be in front of it. He's in front of the smoke. Oh, Tudson was holding for it. Well played, but Spinks now comes out long. Nearly had a chance there. That molly might be good enough. Incendiary goes around the back. So low. If it spreads, it will. And now Spinks into the 1v1 up against Veggie. He has to go back and get the bomb, and Veggie should know this. Oh, Opa spotted the head. Spinks goes for the shot, just about misses it, and Veggie recovers for Anonymo.
These have been some close rounds, haven't they? That was just pistols. It shouldn't have been getting out of control at all. I'm saying keep as many alive as you can. The last 3 rounds of play, there's been 2 or 1 player surviving here for Anonymo, so it's not going to get any easier for them. Ends up keeping them right where they want them. 5-5 the score does now read, and this is where ENCE need to start taking some opportunities with these rifles. Hades, unable to get into an AWP, has opted to go for the Krieg instead. So at least he's got a scope to work with. Makes him a bit more mobile. But this long fight has been coming in consistently, so needing to account for that now, ENCE. Anonymo are really throwing some question marks.
Well, 5-5. We're all tied up. The start that everybody was hoping for today. A competition for a spot at the major. Tudson catches Madden just walking out towards party alone.
Yeah, he was going for a lot of space there, wasn't he? Just thrust forward, W key down, immediately dead, and it's now having to stomach a man disadvantage here and try and peel this one together. They're relinquishing any resistance they wanted to have over towards A. Demo going to jump back up towards the grading here of the drain. He has Veggie in combo, who's just getting the sweat off his hands and maybe just in time.
Here comes the flashes. Demo's fully blinded for it, so he's going to be taken out. And the swing out from Veggie, it's just a single kill. Oh, Diha now rapidly racing into the site with some vicious intent. Oscarish, he's going to try and play around the ramp side. They haven't checked him, and Innocence actually helped him out. Oscarish goes down, though. The Krieg of Hades pulling a kill back. Hades about to walk into Innocent.
Freebie.
Oh, knife out. Innocent will happily collect that. And Snappy has to collect his mind. Where are they playing from? The 2 positions, Monster short. And now he decides he's going to drop back.
You might be able to see this from heaven. I think they planted just to the right-hand side of the bomb box.
Okay, so this could be a good position for Snappy to try and close this one. They will start to consider that option and now confirm his spot. AK rattles from heaven onto the defuse, and Tudson That's a damn shot right to the wall bang. Snappy's head no longer attached.
Yeah, as we mentioned earlier in the piece here, we hadn't necessarily seen the best out of Tudson, but now on a map where it's a bit more free with the AWP, he's getting some impact, getting some kills, making this one hurt for ENCE. They lost their early man advantage because of Tudson. He opens and closes this round right here. Here's the opener. Bang, and Madden just caught in no man's land, wasn't it? I think Innocent is very annoying here still, right? Either the aggressive moves, the quick flanks, and the fact he's always in the side. He's making this jarring, hard to account for Innocent right now. He's doing a very good job of unraveling the approaches that ENCE want to have in these hits towards the site.
Innocent has quite a good spawn here as well. He's right at the edge of what is possible on that A site. So, could be getting some early control here at Innocent.
Interesting they've taken a timeout on the back of this one as well, right? They've won 5 consecutive rounds here. It feels like they're dictating the play. They're really dictating the pace of this. They're the ones who are taking a few more heads-up fights, seeming to find a couple of these openings, unless it's the pistols in play.
Yeah, I think I seen Tudson turn around to his coach that looked a little confused as to the timeout, but it's been called anyway.
Even just a breather right now, you know, you have a handful to use.
It's going to be a tense game here for Anonymo.
Yeah, see if you can get yourself close to that 10-round mark that is still possible, still on the table. 4 more rounds of play here within the first half of this one. What's the change-up going to be? Maybe ENCE to take the pace out of this. Bit of a flub piece of utility, but not going to come back to bite Madden in the ass by any means. Just some chip damage done to Veggie there. You can see that one was destined for the barrel position. Just going to detonate behind him. Little bit of damage done, but nothing really to worry about. So this is it. Yeah, ENCE are taking the pace out of the play, right? You can see how much more stalled out they are in their default. It's a little bit more B-heavy. Maybe just regrouping for a B hit, because if they can trade out a little bit more efficiently here and account for the flank plays, they might be able to convert around.
Only thrown towards A is one front bathroom smoke. That now fades away. Information is being picked up here on the other side of things for Anonymo that there is no presence towards A.
Yeah,
they're going to start making that move.
Tudson's just rotated all the way back through spawn, dropping down the bathroom. So he's bolstered this B defense.
This could become a bit of a bloodbath for ENCE. Just look at the ramifications of this round as well. They got no money in cash left over.
It's connector push as well as a party control. They know 100% right now that it is going to be this B hit. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, they're just so ready. And this is about to be brutal. They need to trade out efficiently. It's one for Demo in the initial swing out hit. He's quick to it, and Spinks just taps down, but the flank from Innocent. Look how quick this has come in. Once again, around the backside. He is such a nuisance right now to ENCE. Spink starts to move forward. It's Madden that's found the kill on Tudson. They know that Innocent's around the flank, but they've moved forward. They tried to take some control towards CT and Graffiti and play from this side instead. They've now traded out position. Anonymo trying to come back in for this. Oh, smoke again. It's going to drop. More Innocent in the wrong spot, but Oscar's going to swing on out. A kill for him on a Spink, puts it all on Madden. It's down to the 1v1, and Madden closes it out for ENCE. A much-needed round win. It keeps the economy afloat, and that looked good right up until the end for Anonymo, and Madden switches it on.
It's going to be so annoying right now for ENCE. They're getting into these sites, they're taking the fights, but the flanks are just constantly there. There's been so much pressure applied, and it feels good, right? It feels really good for Anonymo as part of that retake coming on in. They have them on their haunches, their backs against the wall. As you mentioned, they switch out and trade out places, so now they're the ones having to defend, but they have the friend that the timer is of the bomb. They're able to pick up a big round here. We say big round because look at what it's done, right? Anonymo, as mentioned, had won 5 in a row. 5 consecutive rounds on the CT side, but because of the close nature, by virtue of the way they unfolded, his ENCE coming out the better on the buy. It's going to be 3 Deagles, 2 USPs, up against a Galil, an AWP, 2 AKs, and a MAC-10 for Snappy here. So again, this connector space is just being taken. They seem to get this more often than not on the CT side, and here comes this late lurk of Spinks. Up the ladder they come. He's going to spot the barrel, grab himself one, and I think that might keep Innocent at bay for now, hoping that the footsteps, as they get more and more distant, he can now try and take this space back. He has Veggie alongside. The harassment of Demo. These silent shots, even though that was only a USP, still hard to identify exactly where that was coming from. And Spinks as well, looking this time round, Innocent dead. And actually slipping across towards the playground position has been Veggie. So he might get the kill here onto Spinks. You can see just poor Spinks has to check everywhere consistently. When we say head on a swivel, this would be exactly what we mean. And there you go, rude shock. Deagle bullet hits him in the noggin, and away they go. Madden will kill Ascarish, and the round will be confirmed here. So I think right now, if you want to look at this in the context of the game, this is a very good first half from ENCE. 7 rounds confirmed. Still can get themselves 9 if they're able to push the issue anymore. So, but this is a really, really good first half from ENCE on their map choice. We do have Mirage coming up next, and an Ancient waiting in the wings as the third if we do need it.
And ENCE will start to feel a bit more comfortable about this. You've taken this round. You've really had a lot of scrappy affairs and close affairs just a few moments ago. Innocent's going to be a little bit frustrated, I'm sure, about that 2 rounds ago. When he had that flank, it must have felt like a great opportunity there for Anonymo. And every round matters in this first half. You don't want to allow too many T rounds to be picked up, but ENCE already at 7. Important that they don't let that get any further here. They have got the rifles out, AWP. It's back to the buy for Anonymo. Let's see what call it is for ENCE. They had a slow, methodical round a few rounds ago, but this time they're sending players towards A.
The problem is as well with that round is Anonymo knew it was coming too, and they still lost. So that's the thing that's going to sting the most. Is like when you know the attack's coming, you 100% have locked this down. You have all the information play, you have the fast flank, and you're still not able to convert. You have to start wondering what we have to do differently. Well, Snappy is at least over towards the AWP, and there's Tudson just striking. Hades walking out. Doesn't have the AWP to try and find that heads-up fight, and Tudson's actually been looking hotter and hotter here. 10 kills for him now. Flash deep towards Long, going to flush him back off the line. Has to tuck in towards the upper bathrooms. A defensive flash of his own to buy him a bit of time here to come on back. And if he runs, he could make his way through this front bathroom smoke and get out of dodge. But now that it's faded, needs Innocent to bodyguard him out of here. And they will be able to backpedal in time. Spotted, Diha gets a bit of information, but really just jostling for position right now. There's nothing with too much intent behind it here from either team.
Slowed one again for ENCE. This time, all the information isn't available to Anonymo, and Tudson's in a pretty difficult spot with the AWP.
Scope should have been heard there.
Yeah, Matt is going to hear that. Although, Tudson reacts quickly enough and spots the bomb out now, so somehow it turns in the favor of Anonymo as Demo catches out Spinks. We're just down to 2 players here for ENCE. 20 seconds left. They're not getting out of the toilets. Tudson's taking them out, and just Snappy. They swing out Long. His shot is missed, and he's down to 24.
They're hunting him here. Demo's already close towards Fountain. He might not get away here, Snappy.
He doesn't look like he will be. He's 24 HP. They know he's got an AWP in his hands. To take that out of his hands would be perfect. 7 rounds for Anonymo. And speaking of perfect, that is a perfect round. They don't lose a single player.
Yeah, this is good for the end of the half here from Anonymo. I'm just going to take a look right now in terms of the opening exchanges here for Tudson. So he's 3 for 3 now. He's leveled it out, right? Was given up a couple, as we mentioned in the earlier exchanges. Hades did get the better of him the first time the AWP comes out, but Tudson now turns it around. 3 for 3 in those exchanges, and so is Hades 3 for 3 in those exchanges. So the 2 AWPers on either side of things getting involved in the lion's share of openings throughout this one.
Peek from Tudson, down into Khan. Gives away position with utility, and Innocent, look at him. He's just fighting towards Fountain already. Being so disruptive, being such an annoying player. Madden, Snappy, and Dihad just down to 3 already here for ENCE. They've got to play the rest of the round like this.
Had a couple of annoying moves, haven't they, Anonymo? Different pushes. They've done the 2-man long pushes. They've just now gone up and close towards that Fountain position, found a fight. They've always been in the connector. They've had that look early with Veggie pushing on out towards the short position, the boosts. It's been very dynamic on this CT side. But there is a bit of a gap right now, and well, it is the A bomb site. Ascarish is coming back over to deal with that. Innocent trying to clamp them on in, and Tudson making sure they can't come down connector. 3-on-5 situation, never the easiest to win. And I think here with... Oh, Snappy's heard something. Snappy's definitely heard the footsteps there of Innocent. It's been called on out. He's gone all the way around Long, though. And Madden, I don't think he's expecting this one so quick. Has just turned to acknowledge it, but it's too little too late. Innocent will deal with it. And this should be the round here. 8 looking good for Anonymo now in this 2-on-5.
And Innocent was the player that was brought up at the start of the day by Odesk, talking about his performance versus G2 and how instrumental he was to getting them that start. Well, he's had a good game here, so disruptive. 16 and 10 at the moment. Top fragger on the server right now. And Snappy into the clutch. He's going to run his way down towards connector. Has got a smoke to cover off his cross. They can't take him down easily on the way over. Snappy will get to the side taps to try and draw the heaven fight, but Oscarich will win it. 8 rounds at the half for Anonymo. They lead the way, but ENCE still have a strong T side there, picking up 7 rounds.
Yeah, you'd be happy with 7. I think 7 here is a very good T side on a map like Overpass, and now it's about seeing if they can put up this CT defense and close this one out. I think with the different looks that Anonymo have shown on their CT side, they're definitely going to have a move or 2 on their T half. You can see how difficult it is if you're giving up space across the map. And we talk about it with like superstar players like Rain, when they can hold party control and they can really just be a nuisance in the bathrooms. You can just leave one guy there and kind of float more players over towards that B side. Well, that didn't need to be the case. They were always able to find a gap in Anonymo, and that's what you have to look to as one of the positives here within that first half of play. But now Now we get onto the CT side. You've got 4 sets of Kevlar, a kit and a smoke board out for Madden here. On the other side, Anonymo's attack is going to be guided on in by 2 smokes, a flash, and a Molotov.
Well, Anonymo looked very good in the last pistol. Give a few chances to Snappy, but close it's still pretty strong. See if they can get the second pistol here already. And his quick hit for Anonymo up through connector. A lot of sets being hurt here, and a lot of forces committed down to B for ENCE. They're going to leave Oscarish to the bomb at connector door. Well, it'll be intriguing to see the fake out maybe down into the B play here.
Oh, they've missed that smoke, haven't they? I think it's meant to be a lurk smoke front side. It was all meant to draw the rotation towards A, but now they're coming back down connector. Hades is here on his lonesome. He needs a rotation to come on over. Tuzin trying to sell this. Now Hades is in trouble. He's gone down.
They've decided to just fight when it didn't go initially to plan.
To retake B setup, there's no way back in here for ENCE. They have to allow them to take the site.
Well, Smoke goes down from Madden. Oh, it's too late though. They're already through, but he still found a headshot on the cross, and that's made the bomb go. Lucid sets up Snappy for the pick from below. Snappy in below is set up with a chance, and Innocent getting one. It's just Hudson left, and he's so close to taking this one over the line. Jumps to reconfirm position. D has crossed over towards CT side. He's 11 HP, so a bullet to the chest of the Glock would take him out. And Tudson now commits to the plant, realizing how much a pistol could mean here. And he's so close, he'll close it. Anonymo gets scrappy, but they find themselves both pistols here on overpass.
Yeah, chalk that one up. Another pistol around here, both within the series. Massive stuff right there, and it looked good as they were entering into the site. They take out Hades, but Snappy's the man to draw this back and make it interesting. Snappy's just able to tuck himself into this pit. They have no idea where those shots are coming from. Gets himself a second onto Veggie there, and it looks like it's done. It looks like it should be all over here, but Tudson able to confirm it. Having what I would say is probably one of his better maps so far throughout the showing here at the RMRs for PGL European Group B. Now back into play, and here's going to be a scout for Hades. He is completely blind, wants to make sure he tucks out of sight before they hunt him down, and looking for space. Demo has quickly resided to take any long aggressions. It's a very standard default here. One babysit in the backyard of B. Got the A pressure with 3, and one over towards connector of Veggie just to make sure that there's no cheeky business going on down there. But it is the force by events here. They made it work in the first half. Can they make it work in the second? To try and pull this one off, they've gone for 4 Deagles as scout. Now, the smoke on Snappy and a smoke on Madden. How are they going to deploy these? Traditionally, C teams like to lock out that monster position, force players up through the sandbags and short. Snappy is, however, over towards short right now.
Madden throwing down the smoke for Monster. It's a deep one. They're held behind it. They're now going to be forced through the tunnel, manipulated perhaps to go in towards Snappy's crosshair, and he's waiting for it. Innocent, no trade potential. He's the only player there. Snappy hasn't committed to re-pick up that rifle.
There's still 2 players on A. They're still going to be able to deal with this here. D has back towards bank. They've even got Spinks. Make that 3 players towards A right now. ENCE are ready for this.
Yeah, they are. It's all about landing some shots. It's all about Anonymo being methodical but limited time. And they will just swing on by Spinks. Gets absolutely Ferrari peaked there. And now, flick out from Madden's Deagle. He needs more than that, though. And unfortunately for him, there's not much more where that came from at all. Tutson and Oscarish getting some clinical kills. Snappy has picked up that rifle in towards Tube and is now on the flank around the backside. Sets up D has Deagle. Well, we know what D has Deagle can do at times. Well, Snappy getting involved alongside of him and has put down Tudson in a 1 versus 2. The tap is putting pressure on Tudson. He can't just stay here. The stick is coming round. They've come off it. Tudson taken out. Snappy picks up the rifle, and it all comes off the back of a 4K for the in-game leader.
Huge, right? These are the type of performances that Snappy can have. And you look at the aim, you take the name off, right? Who are you looking at here? What absolute blistering hot shots from Snappy there to claw back another force by victory. You lose both pistols and you win both second rounds. I'm sure you take that every day of the week because now you're set up in the perfect position to convert against the force by wars again. And this is the chances for Anonymo that they feel must be slipping through their fingers. If they were able to convert this with what we saw within that first half of play, they're definitely a threat, definitely not one to be slouched upon.
What a round.
Snappy, just beautiful shooting right there. And it's massive round.
That's that an instant rifle given away in Tube but water. When he gets that 1D, he gets untraded and he can just pick up the rifle and flank. Great stuff from Snappy. Spinks throws the nade on in. It's going to be deep. It'll soften them up.
That's a massive nade right there. Look at all the damage done. Tudson half HP. Demo barely even walking, and chip damage to Innocent and Ascara shit. Hades might get his chance to mop up a couple. Silence them 4 behind the tree towards long, but they're going to reroute, making their way closer and closer towards the bathroom position. This should be ENCE leveling it up at 9-9 here. Spinks in the upper bathrooms. You have Hades as highlighted over towards the tree towards long. There is a timer on this, and if Ascarish actually just continues walking forward up through the banana position, I was going to say they would go by unnoted, but now the jig is up. Spinks knows that there is presence and likely more behind those pistols. They're just going to filter themselves straight on up in towards Diha, who's seen a lot on that jump. Steps on out, gets a dink, gets another dink right there, and actually goes on down. They've taken side control here. This is getting sketchy.
Oh, if they get a bomb plant, that's good. But if they can win the round, you'll love that. You've now got a rifle as you tread out onto Spinks. Hades quick from behind. The bathrooms allowed a kill onto Innocent. The bomb is planted behind the truck. They can throw the utility onto it. It's not exactly planted comfortably here for the two remaining Ts as they run on in. Madden's quick kill. Now the AK of Veggie going into the fight. 2 players still to find. And he's pulled too thin that. But a fantastic round, really, from Anonymo.
Yeah, I think that's a key little summary right there. It is a fantastic round. They were taking a bit of a save here. They wanted to buy in the next round regardless. They've gotten the bomb down, and look how good their cash is going to be off the back of that. A couple of kills, going to force out some rebuys. A very, very threatening round. Felt like it should have been a little bit cleaner for ENCE right there, but that timing, it did catch them off guard. We're able to find the gap, pressure them, and even get a couple of nice ones. So the AWP going to come out for Hades now. The same can't be said for Tudson. They're going to be operating with 5 AK-47s into the first gun round here of the second half for Anonymo. Let's see if they can be just as competitive on this T side as they were on that CT half. It was a string of 5 rounds to really get them back into the piece.
And that round that Snappy breaks them, that could be one of the first steps to victory for ENCE. And they realize Anonymo, that was an opportunity for them they should have taken. They can recover that now.
There's no A presence whatsoever at all. They just went for the extinguish, right? And they're very heavy towards B right now. They've taken full control of sewer. They have a little bit of connector presence with all that U2 going back and forth. And they actually want to see if they can get a bit of a boost up going on here. Innocent to be elevated. See if he can find a leering head.
No, he's getting boosted up to... Oh no, they've fallen off the boost. That's a rough start, and now all the time that's being wasted has allowed ENCE to play much more aggressive. Spinks is pushed all the way down. They've got so much control. They know that every player for Anonymo is outside B right now.
Well, we did see a round like this fall apart for Anonymo in that first half, right? They had the flanks, they had the info, and the B hit still came in, and they just couldn't trade efficiently here. So Sky's trying to see if he can find them a way out of this, aware that that is a potential. They have to know that the push past them could have come in at any juncture. But that just seems a little bit more like a quizzical flash to throw out and maybe put some more questions into the ENCE camp.
They're about to run into a blue wall. This is going to be so hard for Anonymo to get through this. And even if it comes, there's also this flank coming around the back for Spinks. This should be signaled now. Here they come. Veggie, he's taking the first kill. ENCE have traded it out with Hades AWP. They haven't even got the bomb down yet. They haven't even started to think about the bomb plant. And now they go into Snappy. His kill is good, but Demo runs over the top, treads out the in-game leader of ENCE. And now just down to 2, but the flank from Spinks. It is massive, but it hasn't got 2. Hades now into the clutch up against Demo. And Demo has been quiet, but what a round this has been. 3 with 8 seconds left, 3 single health points available. Oh, Hades knows exactly where he has to plant, holds it, gets the pick. ENCE recover the round. A chance there for Demo to do everything, but he couldn't quite muster it. And ENCE, with a strong defense, take themselves 10.
Yeah, even still, though, they had all the info, they had the stack, they had everybody in the right places, and they almost lose this one, right? So, again, we can just reflect on how that went for Anonymo in the first half. Fortunately for Hades, going to get himself up now to 16 kills, but an opportunity goes missing again here for Anonymo, really running out of these chances. 2 to 4, as far as the timeouts go. They're going to have 2 more remaining for Anonymo. But this is the question, right? When you do that much damage in a round like this, do you want to buy back in? You know, you've got 4.8 on Demo, you've got 3.7 on Scarish, 3.8 on Innocent. You could buy, right? You could definitely buy. It would be Galils instead of AKs, but it's still going to be quite threatening, and it would be a good decision to make because Snappy and Diha have actually brought out MP9s. They don't have M4s in their hands, so this is a great opportunity. As they are Anonymo running out of them, well, it feels like they can make one of their own right here, and they're operating to go with a half buy. They're not going to go all in on this. They're going to Mac 10, some Tech 9s. They're keeping it a little bit light. This will guarantee them a threatening round right now and then a threatening round into the next with the loss bonus of 2,900. So hedging that they can get the most out of this, and the B bomb site was almost susceptible there. Let's give it another go.
Whoa, held back by utility here. Initially, Anonymo, they're not going to get that water control too easily, and now they go into Snappy with the MP9 ready to go. Rapidly shoots a couple of bullets out. Does take Oscarish down, but only 1. Follow-up kill there on the short play from Diha hasn't come in yet, but oh, he's staying. And they're not ready for that. They're not thinking he's going to stick around and re-aggress short again. And he's just mowing them down. Diha having some fun up against some of the pistols here. And when you lose so many players initially in a round like this, you kind of take out the strength of the round, and you should just be picked out and should take 11, no problem. Now an innocent left with a Tech 9.
And Diha bloodlusting there, getting himself involved in the game. That's some nice impact there from Diha. Hasn't had the most of kills, but a round like that could have looked a little bit wobbly after your in-game leader, who has been hit, sitting on a bit of a heater, goes in and trades 1 for 1. It's good to see him mop up that mess with the MP9. Earn some good cash, can drop that one across. Diha's actually going to hold on to the MP9 and give Snappy an M4 into play in the next. But Anonymo, as we mentioned, they hedged their bets. They kind of leveled out the cash to make sure that they could stay threatening in 2 rounds. And this is much more of a threatening purchase here. 5 AKs again. Is there much of a change up here? Double incendiaries right now to corral the tees. Tudson will have to sit back and wait out that second one. They have extinguished onto the first, and Spinks with Hades are both staying quite aggressive here.
Fakey's taken down to 25 right away. Perhaps the last round for Diaz. Fired him up with the MP9, wants to get involved again. Hades playing further back because he has the rifle support here of Spinks, so he can commit to the right side of the angle for the time being. Flash is going to get him in the open, takes out Spinks. Although Hades hasn't been spotted, nor has he been dealt with, and he's actually been able to get back in the bathrooms. Goes out for the swing, the shot will land, but not enough damage for the kill, and Hades very lucky to get away.
Yeah, they're scaling quickly up long here. You can see this push coming on through. Diha's trying to help this one out, but they're all just up long right now. 3, 4, 5 of them very, very quickly trying to grab this space.
This is a very committed position for Hades. He's playing on the far right side, so you have a little cover you can get behind, but he's actually taking his position a little bit more passive now. 45 seconds left. Diha is still in the connector. They're coming through bathrooms here on the side of Anonymo. 3 coming up, leaving 1 prone to the approach up towards long side. And Oscar is joining them just outside the divider.
They've gambled B.
Yeah, it's worked out here for Anonymo, hasn't it?
They should just be able to stroll on in. Diha has the worst weapon for the job here to fight them at range. So as he comes
behind
up,
him. Oof. Oh, the element of surprise. It's delivered 1 here for Diha, and that might just hit the panic button, as now he's got a better weapon for the job too.
Safe.
They have to, but Diha, he's not making anywhere in this world safe for them now. Tudson's gone down, and just like that, 2 picks coming out, and Snappy through the smoke. Oh, Snappy! That is just brutal. Takes them down through the smoke. The second one is ridiculous. And Innocent left in the bathrooms. The bomb is taken away, but realistically, Innocent doesn't have much of a shot at winning this round at all, and Diha closes with 3. What a quiet game he's had, and he does that to them.
That's crazy from Snappy right there. I don't think he's even piecing together where that second kill came in. You can see the grin on his face. It's just so fortunate that's even able to land right there. And another threatening round from Anonymo. They get the opener. The utility was great to take down Spinks here. But Diha, just in the backlines there with the MP9, does make it work. I thought the range was going to be too much. There it is. The second one just wildly swinging around and takes down Demo over towards the truck position. It is going to be the 3rd timeout call for Anonymo now, so using these a little bit quicker here within the second half. And again, they can buy. Again, they can get out these AKs. They won't be able to establish too much of a game plan around Tudson's AWP that was finding them some traction over on that first half. But the score now 12-9, a 3-round differential.
Well, ENCE now 4 away, and it feels like Anonymo have been in this game the entire time, Chad, and have lost so many little tiny opportunities throughout this game.
2 force buys, you know, rounds where they had number advantages.
Yeah.
It is getting a little bit rough out here.
It's frustrating. It will be in the back of their head if they don't pick this one up today.
They rush.
It's going to be very quick here for Anonymo, charging with ill intent towards Madden. Will he be able to crack under the pressure or hold? Oh, he's done very well there, hasn't he? Just one. Diaz on the site has done most of the work. And he's able to close it up. Where has Diha been? He's finally woken up here this morning.
Yeah, he wasn't needed until the CT side, right? The T half, it's all good. It was being handled. They were taking care of business. But now Diha's impact being felt round after round. And that's when you know it gets interesting. Sorry, not interesting. Desperate. Desperately interesting when it's just a B rush like that, right? AK-47's rush monster. Hope we trade out efficiently. Right? The rounds that they've actually been doing on this T side have been quite nice. They've been taking their time. They've been taking some control. They've been understanding the dynamics. And then they just go for that. So Anonymo really trying to use more speed and more power to get this one done. And just not able to make it work. They get completely denied there. And feels like Overpass is slipping away quicker and quicker. It's going to be a timeout this time by ENCE. Saw the coach going to chip on in with a bit of a conversation. What type of buy are we dealing with here? And maybe just have a bit of a smile. Look at all the smiles on all the faces. Everybody's having a good time.
Yeah, loving it right now. I think Polish fans today are probably a bit torn, Chad.
Well, you'd probably want the Anonymo, the 5-man representatives to be there, but I suppose this is why you're saying it's torn, because ENCE right now probably the best team with Polish players.
Yeah.
So maybe if you're a Polish viewer at home, maybe you guys can let us know. Who do you want to win? Or doesn't it matter? Do you win either way?
Well, it's a good day nonetheless. You get to see a lot of Polish representation on the server. We'll see what Anonymo are able to pull out of this round. They have gone for the half investment. So upgraded pistols, armor, and they've got some utility around it too.
This type of round is where you would love to see that rush that they just did through Monster, right? See if you can scale quickly, extinguish a molly, maybe a couple of tidy flashes and get over the top of...
Look how ready they were for it, though. Look how many players are on the side of the map for ENCE. If you go through Connector, you've got to deal with Snappy's rifle. He is in a position where he could be overrun here. Snappy gets 1, 2. Oh, it's just cleaning up, actually, rather Spinks. Snappy's inside of water. Spinks just cleans it up. Snappy now coming back in towards Connector. It's all shut down here. And Innocent now going back in towards the bathrooms.
Those damn pesky capital S's, isn't it?
Man, it's just... Yeah. I just seen the Spinks and the Snappy and...
Similar letters.
Yeah, you know what? Doesn't matter anyway, because he shut it down. Snappy would have done that too.
Snappy has been doing that, right? Think about the rounds that Snappy's had here, and that's why I think it's also going to add a bit of frustration over there for Anonymo. They've just had Snappy come on through and ruin their day. And Innocent with the Deagle gets another, but that's going to be it. They just throw their bodies to get the round converted, 14-9. Now, it won't finally be a buy, and the first time on the T side that Tudson gets to bring out his AWP. So that is a positive. If you're looking for an opportunity now for Tudson to wield the big green, see if he can find them some space to work with on the AWP and consider the communication coming through as the call is being determined. This is a strong-looking buy here, but it's time to get around for Anonymo. They've only managed one this entire second half, and it was the pistol round.
Yeah. It's been a rough showing for Anonymo in the second half on the T side. I think the writing is on the wall when you lose a couple of these close ones. ENCE just pushing forward and forward. Innocent trying to take some fights early, and Snappy will beat him out on that. Spinks takes up the exact same position that he used in the last round, and it's worked out again. Veggie, the second victim of the round here for Anonymo. They swing out into Hades at long. He's missed his shot. That could have been 3 already for ENCE. I think they'll be happy having a 2-man advantage right at the start of the round.
Well, they still want to push the issue. Look at this. Actually still leering through the monster tunnel. So going to get caught right there, Madden. They do give one back over. The AWP of Tudson combined with the Scarish there for the kill. So have given a slight chance here for Anonymo to work themselves back into the round. 3-on-4 situation. Plenty of time on the clock. And check this move out from Demo here. He has actually been able to thread the needle and find the biggest gap available on that A site right now. As he walks on forward, we'll have to deal with... Oh, the rotation's just... hasn't been called back over. Still floating just towards the top of A is Hades. Oscarish has grabbed another one, so finding themselves now in a 3-on-3.
Yeah, lovely pick there for Oscarish, and 45 seconds left. Anonymo drawing it back into competitive position, and with Tudson's kill, ENCE are going to be slapping themselves about letting this one slide. They still have a chance to close it out with 35 seconds. Spinks is on the flank again. Oh, not again. Tudson has the bomb, and no one beside him. Spinks is right behind. Execution. As the bomb goes down, and Demo alongside Oscarish, they need to pull this one off.
Demo might get Hades for free here. I don't think he's considering this. Oh, he's positioned himself behind the pillar, so looking good to just hide from this maneuver. And Demo, as he jumps on out, he gets plucked out of the sky, and just one man standing. Oscarish goes down to Spinks as well. So an opportunity.
Spinks has been the nuisance, hasn't he?
Well, he did what Innocent did in that first half, right? Yeah. Just an absolute pain in the ass with those flanks after flanks. But they find themselves just one round away now. Max loss bonus in play. Looking good to close this one. There's a couple of sweaty moments, but it has been a very tidy way for ENCE to pick up what should be map number 1. If you do want to check out what's going on that secondary stream, the B stream, head over to twitch.tv/PGL_CSGO or go to YouTube. Type in PGL. You can find the streams, watch them in 4K, you can pause, you can rewind, you can do all that good stuff. And also, I believe there's some IPs available if you want to watch in the Go TV yourself. Head over to HLTV. I know that they have them available on their website.
Well, here we are, Anonymo. Last chance to try and stay alive here. They have got rifles. They've pushed in towards Hades, who will happily collect the opening and actually swings out for an attempt on the second. I think he's realized now maybe it's a little too rough to go for the re-peek again for the 3rd time, but interesting maneuver there for Hades. Does get caught.
Took the time quickly, didn't he? And he's going to grab a second here, so they're in. Spinks the problem.
Always has been. Spinks the Minx, and now it's going to be Dihad coming back through the bank. It's a boosted up position here for Spinks to try and peer down long side, but Bomb can be committed to here for Anonymo. They're into the 3v3. D-Hat, not again. Another smoke kill coming in for ENCE.
He's
Through the
constricted
exact
here.
same position, but
Veggie
D-Hat,
should have this.
Oh, the wrap around the back. Veggie does take the headshot, and they've taken some ground to play the post plan. Madden and Spinks now having to recover this one alone. Bomb is planted on top of the truck.
Bit of a limp smoke out here to lurk behind for the T. He's trying to take some space, but Spinks finds him just one now with Veggie, and he's trying to get it done all alone. The trade from Spinks will come on out. The defuse is there. There's plenty of time. 16-9. ENCE pick up their map choice of Overpass, and they do it in single digits. It looked like it was going to be a little bit more difficult than that.
I think it could have been. There was a lot of chances, I think, there for Anonymo to put up a fight and had a lot of opportunities throughout that one, Chad. But I think this is one of those maps that you'll just be thinking about all of those little details that could have gone your way but didn't, and it's going to be so frustrating to think about.
Yeah, lots to review there for Anonymo. Great stuff for ENCE, and we know that we have Mirage coming up next. But before we get there, I know that there's going to be 3 lovely individuals waiting over there on the desk to break this one all down. So guys, do you think this scoreline doesn't reflect how close this game could have been?
You're lovely as well, and I think that's right on the money, and that's also going to be, I think, the focus of a lot of this post-game analysis, right, Prof? A lot of what could have been threatening, but not being able to close out the rounds for Innocent.
Yeah, kind of the sad story of the underdogs. Good game overall in Overpass, and a lot of key rounds that went the way of ENCE and just made it look like a very convincing victory in terms of the score. But on the server, I feel like it's a very contested match, actually. And yeah, definitely there are options here and chances for Anonymo to do better.
I still feel like when it comes to the mastery of Overpass, there is no question. ENCE is a much better team. They have much more experience. And you could clearly see it. Any gray area situations we had on the second half where Anonymo wasn't exactly sure how to proceed to close that 3v2 or that 4v3, it was always ENCE pouncing. Always the individuals finding a way to be annoying, to be disruptive. And that, to me, leads to a better map knowledge overall.
Yeah, we talked about how Anonymo could win this. It's like, oh, let's win the pistols. We nailed at that point. They win all of the pistols, and they won all of the pistols here as well, but lost the second round on both sides. Like, that is a kind of a kick in the lower part of your body that you're not really enjoying, right? And then things spiral out of control. I think overall, Spinks, again, look at that, 8 multi-kill rounds, 26 frags, 100 ADR. It's
crazy,
it's really tough.
Yeah, but it's a beautiful setup. It's a beautiful setup for Spinks to perform in here, right? When you can play that forward position in the bathroom banana, and you have an offense that leaves some gaps, leaves some holes, and he just loves it. He's always behind, always annoying, always being a nuisance. Chad highlighted it very well at the cast.
Yeah, he thrives in that as well. And Maniac, I know you were happy to see that, okay, Spinks was again at the top of the scoreboard, but we had a better divide of the kills across the team because some of the individuals, we talked about Hades, for instance, before, had a bit of a rougher start. For a team, it's always better when it's more evenly distributed and you have your star also fragging.
True, no obvious weaknesses when it comes to ENCE. I mean, as soon as you have both Hades showing up and Snappy having great games, as it was also pointed at the cast, he can have sometimes one game every 5 or 6, he's going to pop off and be massive. That was a great example here. So all across the board, strong from ENCE.
Yeah, you definitely delivered in that anti-eco in the second half to give them just a cruise control CT side, essentially. So great from the in-game leader that, despite his age, still has these like pop-off games that are kind of 22-16. That's great.
Yeah. That's really great. Madden also with like a couple of clutches, and I know that he talked in an interview about how he had trouble specifically with kind of the mid-round decision making in a stressy situation. So all good signs. But let's break down a couple of these rounds, as we alluded to before, in terms of how Anonymo was able to be a threat, but had trouble sometimes closing it out and kind of throwing it away at times, Prof, round 12.
Yeah, I mean, this is the round which in the first half kind of decides how the half is going to end, right?
Yes.
6-5, Anonymo comes back after a good start from ENCE. They lose, of course, that force fight that we talked about. ENCE get the lead, Anonymo coming back, and there's this B play from ENCE where we see what Anonymo is doing really well. That's pushing, being proactive, and getting the flanks in.
Yes, Innocent's position is key. His timing is perfect. He's already right behind him. Tells a lot about his positioning. The issue is he misses the smoke, and then he allows Main to close that 1 versus 2. I agree with you. Pivotal moment right here. When you look back at a game, even though it's 16-9, you might be able to pinpoint pinpoint 1 or 2 rounds where a clutch would have changed everything, and they had the right positions here, Anonymo.
Is this one of the examples where you have a team like Anonymo who doesn't get consistent practice against Tier 1 teams in these situations versus a team like ENCE, who obviously has had that in recent past?
Yeah, it's also the pressure of the moment. You know, that failed smoke from Innocent wasn't really a failed smoke, but it's a jiggle peak and a bit of pressure, and there's the release, and then the trade didn't come in from him after that because there was a 2v1, which realistically Anonymo need to close out. They don't close it out. Next round is an eco, and then ENCE starts rolling, coming back into the game.
There's also discrepancy when it comes to maps. I think with these teams, these up-and-coming teams, they have maps where they actually have the experience, and all the players across the board know how to navigate these 2v2 and 3v3s. And then when you poke them a little bit in the map pool, people are a little bit less comfortable acting in chaos.
We know they have a ton of maps, right? 7, but it begs the question, like, would you rather have 4 that you're like extremely good on than be able to...
It's wide, but is it deep?
Is it deep, exactly. Let's take a look at round 21 as well, Maniac. It's much of the same, right? And I think although we're focusing on the opportunities for the underdog, we do also need to emphasize how ENCE was able to close it out a lot of the times.
Yeah, absolutely correct here. That was a given for Anonymo, executing a 5v4 on an empty A side. But again, Diha strikes in from behind. First mistake on the side of Anonymo, no one is really covering him. And then Tussen offers himself to Diha, who's actually in a very good position to make the difference. And from that point on, things just kind of fumble and crumble. Really well played by ENCE, don't get me wrong. They I guess, optimized all the situations and possibilities they had in this round. But if you just opened the round at 5v4, I would have told you in the green room that this was one for Anonymo. They had all they needed.
This kill that Tussen gives away, that is kind of the unforgettable thing that you go back and you rewatch the demo and you're like,
because the information is here,
what
right?
was I doing here? What was I doing, and why did I do this? And then the Snappy coming in with a double through the smoke, yeah, then you really have no chance anymore. But yeah, definitely a great opportunity and another eco after this.
Yes, and that's the story of the game we're trying to sell here, is that Anonymo were definitely in. Most of the rounds they lost, they had a foot in. They were making the difference, but whenever they had to close it, whenever they had to play the strict discipline Counter-Strike, not allow ENCE back in, a few mistakes were made that were utilized by.
Yeah, regardless of their great performances so far, this is where Spot 69 versus Spot 6 comes into play a lot. Let's look ahead to what we got coming up next, which is Mirage. So obviously ENCE, I think, have emphasized how much they are the favorite in this matchup. What kind of possibilities can they get on this next one?
Honestly, like Anonymo, Mirage, I think that's their best map,
yes.
right? That is their best map. They, after this kind of a performance, maybe feel a bit deflated, but I think they also showed enough that they can take it to these guys, right? And on Mirage, what you're talking about, they're going to have a better depth in terms of these 2v2s, 3v3s, how to close out when we have an advantage, how do we finish off this round when we kind of know where they are and we just need to do the basic simple thing to eliminate the opponent.
And that has to be the deciding factor. If Anonymo are given opportunities on Mirage, I think they have what it takes to close rounds, but they should not sleep on ENCE. And I don't think we should be blindsided by the victory against G2. It's great from Anonymo, but again, there is a caveat to it. So it's going to be a hard-fought game, but I believe in Anonymo and I believe in the ability to go to a 3.
That they can make it competitive. When we look at ENCE, though, obviously want to make it to that major. They have such a sour taste in their mouth after playing versus FaZe in the EPL finals, of course. I guess we talked about the chip on their shoulder continuously, but it does really feel like this is a breath of fresh air for this roster that has a lot of possibility. They just need to harness in a way.
Yeah, I mean, Madden said in their interview, like, their main goal is to go through, hopefully 3-0, but 3-1 is like what they need to do. And just to prove everyone that they're a serious team, that the last round wasn't a fluke, and that they're a team that will be taking it to the best in the world.
Yeah, that's the journey they're on. They want to prove to everybody that what happened at Pro League wasn't a fluke, that they deserve to be up there, that they will fight deep in playoffs. And what better ground to do it so here at the RMR? You qualify 3-1 cleanly, you go to the major, and you go on your journey. It's a long one. You have to be patient when you want to earn your stripe and your respect in Counter-Strike.
And I guess in that regard, when we tie it back up, it's like you have seen other big teams stumble in situations like this, even in this particular RMR, right? So for their sake, they'd want to smash Anonymo on Mirage.
I mean, there's also the angle of the legend spot potentially. If you go 3-1 here, you could fight for that extra legend spot that is still up for grabs.
Yes.
Which means you skip a week of stage of competition at the major, which is always nice. Gives you a little bit more practice and time to prepare.
A lot on the line for both of these teams, and before we head to break, we'll see a little content piece on ENCE, seeing how well they know their teammates.
I'm Maui Snake here at the PGL EU RMR Group B, and joining me are two members from ENCE. We've got the coach, Saw, a man who doesn't get enough praise, honestly, and Snappy, the in-game leader. So what we're going to do today is find out a little bit more about these guys and the rest of ENCE. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw out a statement, and you guys tell me who you think on the team fits the bill most. It could be you guys, it could be anybody on your team. Okay, you guys ready?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, ready.
All right. So the first one is, who is the most likely to forget a strat?
Definitely Dusha.
Yeah, would you agree?
Yeah, I mean, I have to agree with it.
Who is most likely to come to practice with a weird new strat or setup?
This is maybe a hard one. Like, everyone will give their ideas at certain points, but maybe Maren is the guy. Yeah.
That has been coming up with a lot lately.
Yeah, he has a lot of ideas, so I would say Madden.
Okay, cool. That's cool to hear that he's contributing like that. Okay, who is the most likely to swear before they give out their comm?
Maybe Oleg or Madden. Maybe. I'm not sure. One of those two. Or me. I'm not. Could be me. Yeah, I mean, I hear a lot of people saying this, I swear to God, but I'm not necessarily swearing, but it might be Oleg. Yeah.
Who is the earliest to arrive to practice?
It's me, or it's Ito, then it's me, and then it's probably Madden.
Yeah, it is like that, kind of. One by one we arrive, but it is usually in that order. But maybe it's good to say that no one is late usually, like, good thing about our team. So.
Nice. Who is the biggest body shotter on the team? Who hits the least headshots?
I mean, it's obviously Oleg since he's the AWPer, but I think I'm next in line.
All right, that's nice. Who on the team has the overall best mechanics? I think this is pretty hard for you.
I think that's actually hard, but I think it might be Dusha.
Yeah?
He has this kind of mechanical, robotic kind of movement aim, and it looks nice when he's doing it. So.
Who spends the most on skins?
I don't think a lot of people are spending a lot. I think people are lending a lot of skins now. So maybe, I don't know, honestly.
Last question is, who is the easiest teammate to work with? Guy that complains the absolute least?
Would have to go with Spinks probably. Like, he's easygoing guy, chills, doesn't stress out about anything, so he's easy to work with.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I agree. Like, always on time, always shows up, always professional. So, yeah, I would probably agree.
Okay, cool. Thanks, guys. Really appreciate it. That's been another segment of Getting to Know ENCE. And this has been with Snappy and Saw. Thanks for joining us, guys.
ENCE versus Anonymo continues as we head into map number 2 of this series. We've heard the Death set it up perfectly. This is a chance here for Anonymo. They showed that they could take it to the side of ENCE on map 1. They had a lot of opportunities, but now we're heading on to their best battlefield.
Yeah, I want to see how frustrated they are after that one, right? Because they definitely had some opportunities there. But we've been talking about this one a lot. It was the G2 game. It was the opening game, Anonymo versus G2, and it was a big win for them, right? They picked it up in overtime. And some of the factors that went in their favor was Innocent getting 36 kills. He had 9 first kills in that. The team as a whole had 3 clutches, and they only just won in overtime, right? So a lot of things went their way. I didn't even mention that both pistol rounds went their way as well, and both pistol rounds just went their way on overpass, where they lost 16-9. So when you take that into consideration, when you look at some of the opportunities that they have dropped, that needs to be out of their head now, because this is an opportunity for them now to level the playing field, get into a 1-1 scoreline in this best of 3, and get things over towards Ancient as that third and deciding map that you can see here, waiting, ready and raring to go. But yeah, I think that one of the positives for ENCE, as far as this goes, is they get started on the CT side because this is the map choice of Anonymo coming on through, and they showed a very, very strong CT side just there, right? So they can continue to lock things out here as we move forward into Mirage.
Yeah, and a big part of their T-sided performance versus G2 when they started on T-side was Innocent's early rounds. Also, if you remember that pistol round, that was ridiculous.
2v5.
Yeah, it was 2 versus 5 recoveries to give them that opportunity, and that's going to fire you up. Don't see that happening too often here, but ENCE, they didn't really have a weak link. I think DL was a bit quieter because he wasn't really needed in that first half, and the second half started to light up towards the end, and Snappy having some good performances too. It's always good when you have an in-game leader that can frag with some of the best. It's good to see that. And Hades, I think it was the biggest talking point really coming off the Death segment was, we look at Hades, a player that has been inconsistent, having one of his weakest performances at an event. Well, he had a good first map.
Yeah, I think there's a few keys right there. If we just go with the DH one, once the kills came his way on the CT side, he was converting them, he was locking them down, right? So I don't think there's going to be too many dramas for him. I think that DH can be one of these X-Factor players. Like, he doesn't need to necessarily pop off anything crazy, but when he does, you're definitely going to see him just absolutely maraud around the server. But yeah, Hades there, he was able to close out, I want to call it a must-win clutch. It was that demo opportunity in that one-on-one situation right there. Snappy, we spoke about it before the game even went live. He's just one of these in-game leaders who can find that crazy impact, and he had some massive rounds. That one with the Deagle into the picked up AK-47, into the conversion on the flank. So there's a lot of notes here for us to at least see that there's a lot of players in the server firing on all cylinders. I want to get talking about Anonymo in this map. It's a little bit harder with their T side, because I'm curious to see what they're going to throw their way, if they've actually prepped a bit of a game plan, if there's certain sides of the map they want to target more than others going up against ENCE. But their CT setup, I remember that Ascarish over towards A was also grabbing a lot of information. He was pushing Palace, pushing A ramp. That came back to help them a lot within that. And Tudson on the CT side was able to find a bit more traction with that AWP. But we got 15 rounds before we can get there. We're getting into way here with map number 2. And Innocent looking ready and raring to go. The buys are coming on out. Going to be Julie's this time round for Snappy. A couple of flashes for Hades have been dropped across. There's 1 flash and a smoke grenade. And on the other side of things, it's 4 sets of Kevlar, and Tudson's actually ecoed on the pistol. I like this. I like this a lot. Tudson hasn't invested anything.
Get their money out for that AWP. Quick play into mid here for Anonymo's T-sided pistol. Dia's going to see them hopping up in towards mid, but Madden is taking the first kill. Diha quickly positions back to jungle and deals with Veggie. Now goes back into the fight at Connector. Tudson actually beats him out in that fight, so still a 3v4. Within touching distance here for Anonymo, but with that kill of Spinks, starting to look pretty rough for the Polish side. It's a 2v4 this time. Let's see if they can bring it back. Madden has taken down Innocent, so just Tudson left. He has upgraded into the USP for this, but they know exactly where he is. They've got him pinned, and they're coming in from all sides. So
should die from vent room here, shouldn't he?
It really should die from anywhere he decides to peek next. It really feels like
he's go anywhere.
You're stuck in one corner.
Kid. Just pepping away out there. All right, well, he's the only one to get a kill in the round there for Anonymo, and the first pistol round of the series that they haven't won. So the 2-0 streak over there from Overpass comes to an end. Their fantastic stat line in that regard is unable to get them underway here. And, well, I think that Tudson in the next round of play will be able to buy an AWP if Anonymo want to go for a full eco here and just rock around the server with the Glocks in hand. But a couple of crispy ones hit. Perfect stuff for ENCE to get this one underway. And they will be taking the full eco out of Anonymo. We've left spawn. We're into round number 2. And a real opportunity right now for ENCE to just keep this one clean. Diha on that MP9 looking to farm up some magic.
Oscarish taken down to 53. Ned goes after Hades, takes him down to 25 HP, but he's still come away with a double kill. Tudson and Veggie victim of him. Another push up from Oscarish into Snappy's MP9. Oh, he's jumped over the top. Snappy does react in time, is able to get the pick, and it's looking clean.
Yeah, Glocks, right? What else you meant to say?
They're
a wonderful weapon.
In the pistol round.
In the pistol round, and then probably never again. So all in all, the clean 2-0 start for ENCE now have been posted onto the board, and that Tudson AWP will come out early here. Maybe that's one of the things that they discussed when they were outside having their conversation after the map 1 loss. Hey, we didn't even allow our players to have their preferred weapons on that T-half. We don't want that to happen again here on Mirage. We're going into a bit of a tech timeout here, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. So sorry about that one. We'll get this one sorted and back underway ASAP. But if you are just joining us here, this is a winner's game. The winner of this matchup will be qualifying themselves for the PGL Antwerp Major in a couple weeks' time. We also have a B stream going on right now with Entropic versus Heat. The first map did go in the favor of the French team Heat on Nuke. And if you want to find that one, head over to twitch.tv/PGL_CSGO. You can also head over to YouTube and type PGL in, and you can find yourself the live streams, 4K, pause, and all that good stuff. I know a lot of people like that functionality, right? You may be missing around. Maybe you're watching
At
yesterday.
4K.
Well, maybe you missed out on Yabby's screamer, right? Where he gets that one tap onto this, and you want to go back and watch it again. So you can do that over there.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. I was watching that one, just mesmerized really as to how that happened.
My neighbors in the hotel are very loud, so when I watch the Counter-Strike games in my room now, I just yell, try and keep up with them. I don't know why they're so loud. I don't know what they're doing, but I've tried to be just as noisy as them.
Maybe they're playing Counter-Strike.
I don't think they are. I think I'm the only one on the 6th floor.
Maybe they're doing other things, Chad.
Could be doing other things.
Well, it is Hades who is taking that first kill happily here onto Tudson. The advantage picked up for ENCE. And we'd have to talk about how important this round is for Anonymo. They've lost their first player in their gun round, and it's Tudson who saved from the pistol from the first round to get that gun in his hands.
Yeah, well, I kind of just want to see them get some traction as far as frags go. Even if they don't convert the round, get a few players off these donuts they're starting to build right now. Tudson was the only one to get a kill on the pistol. They got completely blanked on their full eco. So with the AKs out, we need to show that potency here in the rifle department, or this CT lockout is going to feel very, very scary. But look at Spinks, more than happy just to bide his time. Will be smoked off now. Veggie pushing through towards connector and caught by Madden. Well timed on the peek-on through.
And he reads the play back towards Palace, but Innocent is quicker to the headshot. Now the short play for Demo. Ostrich coming out rampant. Oh, Hades and Snappy. They both go down in tandem. And it's now Spinks and Dihad left to try and pull this one out for ENCE. And Anonymo have got themselves into a good position. Demo's coming out through connector. Hasn't committed around the corner just yet to Spinks. Should actually maintain this position. Flash is not good enough. And Spinks will not be blinded by it. He's able to take that kill, no problem. And Innocent now swings from Palace to try and take this kill back.
Dihad's also been able to rotate in towards connector now and get into an AK. He wants to fight.
Innocent, shoulder peeks out, sees the player in connector, and now climbs on top of default box. It's taken Dihad out of commission. And Spinks, you know he's good in these situations, but 1 versus 2 now. Steps being made. Innocent, oh, that's what you love to see. Innocent with a 3-piece. An influential part to their Mirage success.
Yeah, beautiful stuff and great. I wanted to see a couple kills come on the board. Well, almost everybody getting one in that round. Just Veggie unable to get on the board just yet, but I don't think there'll be too many dramas for him. One of these bigger fraggers on the side of things for Anonymo as they immediately respond. Now, the buyback from ENCE, no dramas for them in the purchase department either, but it started so well for them and then kind of crumbled apart here. Simultaneous frags over towards that A site coming on in and denying them the opportunity to stand tall over towards A. No AWP for Tudson now, but Hades definitely wielding one of those. Spinks the boost up and over and towards the vent room. Dihad to try and combo with him, and Hades and Madden to lock down this A side of things, while Snappy might be getting a lot of pressure coming his way. 4 Anonymo members now up in towards the B apartments, lining up some util for a pop and go.
There goes that pop. Molly sent out. Snappy sees what dropping out, but
his
is
tail.
pulled into the open. He chases on that first player instead of fixating upon the second, and now Innocent. He's come through with some big ones again. 2 already found. At least ENCE have been able to keep this one even.
Denied.
And the swing out from D has denied the bomb plant. And he's still standing his ground. He wants another one. Oh, very close to it. 5 HP left in Oskarish. Oh, he's found another kill. Now he's up against Madden.
He's got no idea, though. Doesn't know he's coming from short. He's already pushed on past.
Problem is he's 9 HP here, Chad. So getting into a good position is essential. He can hit that instantaneous headshot. Oh, reaction. Madden missed a few. Was able to commit to the mouse one. And the body shots to the edge of the wall is enough to remove Oskarish.
Had a real chance there, didn't he? Madden not connecting immediately. Made you second guess that whole situation, but 3-1, an immediate response here back from ENCE, and round for round we go. This one is going to hurt a little bit more for Anonymo. Might be able to get some partial pistols up here, but a good shot from Oskarish onto the second there, but just not ready for this maneuver of Madden, and you can see it there closed on out. Going to be a couple of deals, P250 and a Glock right now, and can they make this one threatening? They had a Tech 9 round in the early stages of Overpass that looked pretty good. They were able to cascade their way in towards that ace site. See if they can make the magic happen here as going to be ahead of that smoke is Oscar. She's second guessing going forward. Veggie towards the underpass and Innocent towards A as the other two reside top mid. So just stalling out, waiting for this U-tilt. Maybe you're watching the Counter-Strike today. It is Saturday. You've whacked it on the telly. You're having a bit of a midday viewing or mid-evening.
It's a weekend.
Yeah, well, whatever you're up to, let us know. Have a tweet, have a chat.
So let's have a chat about this, Chad. So we look at the teams overall in Group B side of things. And the teams you would expect to move through, players, Copenhagen Flames have actually got a legend spot now. G2, Astralis, ENCE, NIP. But a team in Tropic, I think, was another one that we could throw in the mix there. But they seem to be struggling right now.
Yeah, it's going to be a bit difficult for them, even if they do go, well, if they go down to Heat here, that's it. They're out of the event. If they're able to trundle forward after the Heat game, for either of those two teams, it's not going to get easy tomorrow. Nice shot from Demo there. I don't think this one's going to get interesting too much. And
okay,
unless they grab another. Okay, Hades dead now, trying to deal with this. Spinks gets one and traded, so a 2-on-2 established now.
Yeah, Madden's coming up through connector. His teammate from short. Smoke will go up in front of his face, but Madden's decided to play in front of it. Palace and Firebox set up. Flashes available. That is the only pieces of utility, but they found a lot of damage. Taking out Demo now. It is just Innocent. 9 HP up inside of Palace. Tap might just draw him into the open. One could be sticking in now. Should be realizing that stick is coming through. Innocent trying to take the shot, and Snappy's actually got it! Oh, Innocent! That is incredible. The kills come in, but it's frustrating for him.
Just as well. Just after the time right there. That one is going to hurt, the fact that he didn't get that. Oh, Deagle to the diffuser
close,
in time.
man,
but
so close.
yeah, look what it's done, though. Look what it has done to the buy events here. That's so much damage in a round that really shouldn't have got out of control whatsoever. So the fact that they're keeping it competitive here, Anonymo, with this extremely light buy, they get the bomb down. They've done so much. Look, it's an MP9 for Snappy again. It's an AUG out for Hades, but the util is extremely light. Hades is Glass Cannon AUG.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I guess Glass Cannon AUG's the new meta here. Tudson dead. Trades on back. Spinks has found another, and more fights in mid.
4v3. Anonymo might just get another pickup short here, but it's so close to it. Demo will take Spinks. But elsewhere, his teammates are all going down, and just like that, Anonymo down to a single player on 23 HP again. It is frustrating. Last run comes down to a split second. Just after the time, swings with a dig. But Demo, he's not really in a position to compete here, Chad.
Yeah, and Veggie yet to get a kill. You'd love to see him get activated soon. Now, the issue is I can sit there and say last round was really good because the whole point is you can build off of that with a round win. And right now on 23 points of health, it does seem very difficult to see a round win coming out of this. If you can get another kill, they can still pressure ENCE's economy and keep them under the thumb to some regard. But you would have loved to have gotten away with one of these, forced them down to the pistols, make them eco or force buy. Now it's maybe just about getting the bomb down and grabbing a cheeky kill if they can. Over towards short. Madden peering back now. Oh, he's definitely spotted him. The bomb not going to go on down. He's going to fake it on out and get cleaned on up. So nice. Well recovered there. ENCE, after what could have been a loss to just some pistols, have consolidated with a consecutive. And this is a good opportunity for them now. Oh, Innocent has immediately gone into an AK here. So he can buy. Demo could do the same. Scarish could get something in the purchase department here, but it's a timeout for Anonymo. They are just going to have a bit of a conversation about how they want to approach this. And when they found themselves in a situation similar in the first half of Overpass, they actually, in the second half of Overpass, they actually took a timeout and half bought. They didn't all in, right? They didn't all in when they could have with the Galils. And I think here, just as we can see these Tech 9s being bought up, they're going to do the same.
Man, it's a really rough start here for Anonymo. There's a lot of frustrating moments throughout this one, but as Maniac was saying at the desk, you know, ENCE are the better team. There's no doubt about it. They absolutely should be coming into a matchup like this and take the win and take their spot at the major. That should be the way the story goes. And we all sit here, we anticipate a possible Cinderella story, but the reason fairy tales are fairy tales is because a lot of them don't come true. And so we're now looking at ENCE 5-1 up. Anonymo once again into a weak enough buy, but they're going to be setting up for an A execute off the back of this. So smoke should be coming out. 3 standard ones should come through.
Here.
But actually, it's a different look to it, and they're committing into this one. It is Hades taking out 2. D hasn't even been used yet, and Madden now gets to try and strike the back at triple. It's taken out very cleanly here for ENCE. Just the amount of players they had in front of the smokes there, Chad, cancel out any potency behind that.
Well, these last 3 rounds now for ENCE feel like they've got easier and easier, and that's as varying buys have come on through. When you've had full AKs, when you've had just the upgrades, and here you've had a bit more of an investment across the board. So this is starting to really get away from Anonymo now. 6-1 scoreline, only one opening frag in all of that.
Yeah.
We
It's
need
rough
to make a change, yeah.
It's rough when you have the other player that was fragging really well along Innocent inside that G2 game was Veggie. And he's on 0 kills right now, as you pointed out. It hasn't changed. So it has been a very slow start here for Anonymo, individually speaking. But there was a half buy in that round. It wasn't the full investment. And now they committed the full buy with the AWP up for Tudson, the rifles around it, and utility. Oscars is going to charge his way into the mid-fight early on. He's seen a lot jumping out the window, but actually dealing with it is another story. Spinks has taken one. Hades actually gets traded out by Innocent. So we're back in a 3v3 at the start of the round. That's not bad for Anonymo. They can play with this.
He's got a lot of value out of that, but look at this push from Madden here.
That's
He might
wild.
just stop them immediately.
He's going to peek them.
Hello.
He's going to fight them. And they're looking for him. Oh, Madden. Very lucky. Thought he was going to go down without a single kill there, but he has seen all the information needed and takes one kill. So it keeps it at the 2v2. Anonymo now starting to figure out, okay, they've seen us towards T-spawn. Do we go back B? Do we go into the mid-play? And they've decided the mid-play is the call.
And it's a bit of a gamble here from ENCE. They're actually playing 2 over towards B. You can see Diha hoping that they come up and through the window position, and Snappy locking down the B apartments, and they're actually going to slink their way up through connector. So in this 2-on-2, there's a bucket load of utility still to deploy here. Oh no, if they walk in towards window, that's where Diha's waiting. This could be the perfect read. This could be the perfect read.
And the perfect position to
what
deal
an
with
off angle this is.
This is so good. He's going to see one. The life. Oh, doesn't actually pulls his knife out of the initial kill and will get traded out. So that gives Demo a little bit of a second wind into this round. He's going to run over towards this site. Has smoke, 2 flashes, an HE. Snappy's going to be smoked off surely. No, he's going to be playing on triple. Snappy's instead going to throw his nade deep on towards Demo. It's taking him down to half straight away. Position should be confirmed here for Snappy. Knows he has to be behind triple. With that smoke, he has to be at the back of his head. He's created a corridor to play towards CT. So Snappy knows that he has to just isolate them into a couple of fights. As soon as he clears triple, he can now focus on CT. Snappy's in a good position here. He's going to smoke onto the bomb. He has actually lost him. And that's a little surprising. And oh, Demo's going to close it. Snappy losing him in that situation is a bit surprising there, Chad.
Yeah, I think because the gap in the smoke, maybe that Snappy wasn't even trusting the fact that he could have gotten away, and it was that perfect moment in which Demo gets over towards spawn right there. So you can see just struggling to piece this one together, and well handled, all things considered. Hades got a lot of value out of that AUG for the rounds that was invested in. Those trades were very, very good. And the heads-up play to kill Diha and immediately rotate towards A to piece it together, knowing that Snappy is more of that B anchor, and they weren't doing something a little bit strange. She's just hightailed it straight on over towards the opposite side of the map here. But double AWPs is the immediate response right now from ENCE. One for Spinks, one for Hades. A couple of M4s and a shot here for Hades is going to land. That's a big opener to get them back in. And they know that there was one AWP on the other side of the map. They're not taking space quickly elsewhere. And fortunate for them, because if they did, they might have run into that Spinks AWP, which is over towards Ticket.
I was watching Oscar just charge his way towards B, trying to find that opening. And Hades just peeks into him. It's a rough start. But ENCE are going to hold it. How do Anonymo find their way back into this? They're spread out at the moment with plenty of time.
Time's the one thing they do have, and Innocent is relinquishing any space over towards A. Going to backpedal up now. Demo top middle. Veggie in the underpass throwing out some util. And it looks like they're regrouping towards B. And they're assuming that the AWP will have repositioned, and that assumption is correct, but just back towards market. He hasn't tucked tail elsewhere, but Demo's taken some space in connector now, and DR might be that first port of call.
Yeah, it's going to be this B setup to play in towards Hades and leave Demo to try and get the flank going. Oh, that's a big shot from Demo. Does the signal to go B come through yet? Hades now spotting him out. Flash is perfect. Gets Hades off the angle.
He's in trouble.
Now Anonymo into the side, overwhelming the AWPer and getting him out of the round. Veggie now taking up control of the market, and the second AWP is coming back to play here for Spinks. No extension around the corner, but he's holding for it, waiting for the peak. There's no reason for Anonymo to do so now. They've got the bomb down on the site. Innocent trying to fend off the retake attempt from the apartment side of things. He does have the help of his teammate watching market, so he can focus on this position.
Saving.
And Spinks has called it off. No opportunity came his way, and they're calling this one a done deal. Anonymo worked their way into the round.
Yeah, very, very fortunate stuff right there. If Spinks pushes in towards the market, Veggie in that position just kills him dead to rights for sure, up towards the shelving unit. So really, really good stuff out of this one. That's after giving away that opening pick towards B. So taking care of business, Anonymo now will strike back, will get themselves up to 3, but Innocent creeping ever forward. Madness just around the corner here. He's just going to make sure he's out of that bomb radius, tucks on back and holds on to his goodies. But saving 3 right now for ENCE allows them to at least be a little bit more threatening into the next round of play. But this grinding nature of Anonymo's T side now is starting to find something. They've found 2 consecutive. Can they make it 3? The scores on the doors are a little bit concerning. Tudson with 1 and Veggie with 1. Now, Veggie got 1 in that round right there that helped them convert, so a good kill for him. But Tudson got that first frag on the pistol round. It's really been Innocent and Demo, 11 and 7, and then you've got Skarish with 5, so middle of the pack. They need to get, I think, at least Veggie activated here based off what we've seen from him so far. They will be able to get the purchases on through an M4, an MP9, an AK, and Madden. I think it's another MP9 on the ground there for him to pick on up.
If you want to buy your tickets for the PGL Major, you can do so now with a QR code on screen. Join us in Antwerp to get the party started. There's lots of teams locked their spots in. We're now down to the final few days to see the other rosters that will be going there. Anonymo versus ENCE. One of these two teams will be heading there at the end of this best of 3. Tudson, AWP back in his hands. He had a rough time the last time he got this out. He's going to be over towards A looking for the early pick. And at least the difference is here, he's at least stayed alive.
If they do head towards A, it is right now just Madden over towards this balcony position with the MP9, and they're creeping ever forward. Madden has 2 choke points to worry about. Currently, the balcony smoked off, and has a teammate over towards Connector of Dihar to help him on out here if things do start to get a little bit hot and heavy.
Now that Madden's starting to relieve his position towards Palace, he's bringing that MP9 to play from default. Anonymo have a lot of utility, but they haven't used any of it yet, and I don't think they feel like they need to right now. That peak now finally getting info. That was the problem that for ENCE, that they weren't finding the info they were towards ramp, and now that they've seen it, Anonymo are just calling to go. Flashes go up. It is Madden playing from default, trying to rattle it away with the MP9. The first blood of this round will go Spinks' way, and ENCE have it, but Denver's pulled it back. A quick dive into a sandwich has got Madden in his position. Hades had a shot there. He's got a lot of opportunities, but he hasn't been able to land it yet. And Anonymo now deploying utility towards him. Hades still goes back for the 3rd time of asking. This time gets the pick. Quick play towards CT coming forward for Snappy. MP9 looking in towards the site. Shots will land. Sees one up on the stairway. Innocent taking off the top of the stairs. And Demo starts to put some damage down towards jungle. ENCE are finding the picks, putting Demo alone. And they will come in from so many different sides. Anonymo never made to feel comfortable into their post plant there.
Yeah, look good once they take Madden down. It feels like they've got control, but there was so much utility deployed toward jungle, but just not a smoke. So the AWP could just post up and managed to pip them there and be able to get one on back, and the retake was nice. I think that ENCE knew that they had to have a bit of quickness about that. They didn't have a defuse kit brought into the last round, so that's something that they knew going into that retake. They needed to take those fights quite quickly, and it will force out a timeout here from Anonymo, calling their 2nd so far within this 2nd map of play. There's enough money to buy. That isn't the question. It's what the approach is going to be. Maybe they're hoping that the distraction on A would have drawn enough eyes, but definitely drew some eyes in his direction. And some great shooting out of Dihar here, alongside of Spinks to get this one done. Getting fired up now is Madden. Just a couple more rounds, really, away from qualifying for the Major. Very good looking first half, and they've even retained this double AWP setup.
Update from the B stream. Currently 9-3 for Heat over Entropic.
That could be a big win for the ex-Double Pony boys. That's Body, Jocko, Lucky,
Exercise,
and yeah, Afro.
Yeah, that's a team that has been on people's radar for a little bit. It
feels like a long time now, doesn't it?
But here we are. A chance for Anonymo. Once again, back to rifles. They've got themselves into some close positions. That last round wasn't one of them. Madden puts the smoke down in Palace. Might spoil their party, but it looks like the execute coming in here for Anonymo.
Hades can be smoked off here quite easy, so he might have to drop out that lurk smoke that these AWPers have been doing over towards the triple box to try and play behind to give him something to work with here. A little bit worried about the flank, but it's not coming. Smoke's now deployed, and to out the apartment's position with 3 up the ramp. Here they go.
Hades has tossed the smoke himself to play with, and he will play towards triple, so he won't leave Madden out to dry alone. The AWP will commit to the site. Madden now deals to the ramp, play forward. Hades helped him out towards ramp. And another shot from Hades picked up. He threw his AWP down on the ground. He's picked it up. He was able to get away with one. And Hades, that was quick to the shot on Innocent. And Veggie now coming out of Palace. He's trying to fight so many angles. But Hades, what a round. He drags them down to the underworld with him.
What a great time to show up from Hades, right? We talked about his struggles so far. You know, he's been one of the lowest rated players for ENCE in this tournament. I think in these last 2 maps, he's shown what he's got. 16 kills now total. I don't know how that one didn't show up as a no-scope right there. Must have got the
was that a
quick-scope
quick?
just in time. Yeah, and accidentally dropping out the York, donating that one over. Yeah, all right.
That is so ridiculous.
Very fast shot there onto Innocent, taking care of business is Hades.
We need to get the slow-mo guys on that one to watch that back. That is filth. Well, that's going to hype you up if your Hades around like that. Always gets you in a positive mindset. That's 2 back-to-back A setups now for Anonymo going the wrong way. They're down to a weak buy again. They charge their way up towards bench. Spinks under a bit of pressure.
He's got help.
He has got help of Madden.
They should be all right. And every time I say that, then the Pistols manage to chip away and make it seem like more of the interesting rounds. But I think Spinks and Dio have had enough of that silly business. Madden wants to chime on in too. And the woes continue here for the likes of Veggie. Still only 1 kill for him. And it's just night and day from that performance we saw from him against G2. They were able to find so much space. They were able to get themselves in lots of clutch situations. Really, really turned the game on its head. But now it is just one-man demo posted up and over. Bullet will ring on out. He's now noted, and look at how quick they're coming over to find these eeks. Eco Cobra's out to play.
Yeah.
Madden gets the last, and 9-3. This is a great half now.
Look at the money here for Anonymo. At least they'll get the buys out. But the problem is in these last 2 gun rounds, they haven't really shown too much about them. They've gone for back-to-back executes, haven't worked out at all. I was speaking to ENCE about, there's always been a talking point for me is like understanding the culture in the team. Obviously, they're from so many different nationalities, right? But the culture just seems incredible in the team. It's kind of crazy. They all get along really well. Their personalities mesh together, and they just look like they're having a good time in the server. And that's that can often go a long way if everybody's on the same page and enjoying themselves. 9-3, they'll be enjoying themselves right now with this scoreline. They're pushing in towards Ram, Chad.
Yeah, well, this is difficult to break right here for Innocent. If he drops on down, Madden should be able to hear that, swing on out, get the fight. If he just peeks on through, Hades with the AWP, he's looking hot at the moment. As we say how powerful the setup could be, they will backpedal. Having Madden to deal with the apartment's position now, and well, it is just a very slow default here from Anonymo. Not wanting to take too many risks, not wanting to give much away, allowing this early util to be dispelled. You just see one with a little blue line of a smoke landing front connector here. This is to keep Diha in position. Can peer on out over the top of that, make sure that nobody's creeping up through the underpass, keep him very cheeky. And also those question marks slow Anonymo down even further. There's a flash.
A little bouncy flash. Hades forced away from it. Shots are ringing out, and Innocent now dropping back.
But the no-way ramp's clear, so even though he threw that util, it means absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing whatsoever. It doesn't really scare them off too much, and here they come up through connector. It's Diha's turn.
Diha, the ready. Oh! He was ready, but Demo just takes his head right off his shoulders. Now Madden turns at the wrong time, and Innocent has got him around the backside. It's a kill confirmed. Elsewhere, Tutson had picked up one. Now Hades from the side. Oh, nearly delivers another second. That would have been brutal if he was able to get up for a pick there, but Snappy, the last player remaining, trying to get into this one, and Snappy has drawn himself into the 1 versus 2. Decides to go to the rifle. Oh, what? Okay, Veggie now giving him a chance. Oh, that was wild. That was utterly wild from Veggie. If he goes down, Snappy has a real opportunity to win that round. And almost should have gone down there.
Almost felt like he had to play wide with that Molotov because it would have been flushing him deeper into
what was that,
sandwich. That demo shot was crazy, right? That was a big way to open that one up. That Molotov, I don't know what that was all about. But Snappy almost making it around to this, ready and raring for that fight onto Tuts. And this one here, right? You're having to take a little bit more of a fight there from Veggie. But all good. Able to get themselves 4 now confirmed. And a timeout here back from ENCE. So they need to win this one or they're going to have no cash to fight. And that means Anonymo could get themselves a 9-6 half, which, considering how this has gone so far, we're pretty good. 9-6 on the nose for Anonymo. We have a very, very competitive game, but an 11-4 the other way. Feels like ENCE are only going to be moments away from closing this one.
Yeah, if they are able to pick up 6 rounds at the half, Anonymo, I will be incredibly impressed at how they've been able to get back into this, because for the most part, it felt like a easy first half here for ENCE. Easy for ENCE, of course. But Anonymo, they do have an opportunity, and they realize that. Mirage map they're proficient on. Quick walk out here from Demo. He's going to throw the molly in towards connector. Flash will go out into mid itself, and Demo then crosses behind the top boxes. Some control at least taken for Anonymo towards mid, but it's going to be this B play.
Can't go down here, Demo. That nade might be good. Look how much damage is done.
He's eating that one.
Yeah, 10 HP remaining, and they're going B.
They're coming into the B site, and in the Snappy, and Spinks, the combo, looking to shut it down. And Spinks with 1, and that's it. Snappy can't get a single kill. So this is fantastic for Anonymo. And look at the underpass play from Diha. It's being held. Demo is at the ready for it. Problem is here, Demo is so low. He's on 10 HP. So if a body shot comes in quicker for Diha, or any shot really, it's going to be the kill, and it will come through. Diha picks that up.
Now. They got kits.
Yeah, that position from Tuds, it's not when you're really going in pre-clearing, is it? Plays in the ninja box. Hades decides AWP is too expensive to throw away. You mentioned the money troubles, Chad. Well, you can't really go for this one, so it has to be the save call.
And this is great. A real opportunity now for the Polish side of Anonymo to get themselves 6. 5 definitely confirmed. These 2 rifles saved on through. It's only going to be 1,900 as the loss bonus into the next, so not a whole lot of cash to splash. And Hades will deny another. Snappy and Spinks do actually have enough to get themselves into M4, so not going to be too bad. It's just going to be Madden there a little bit later on, and maybe Diha wants to hook him up with the Famis. So this buy is actually going to be pretty tidy. Pretty tidy indeed. It will be the Famis drop from Diha over towards Madden, so I thought there might be some more problems in the buy department, but no. They're actually going to be very competitive here, and it's going into the final round of this first half of the second map. Snappy thinking he should have at least got one there because Spinks was able to chip on in, just not able to connect the dots. And here we go. Quick window smoke out to play. Demo top mid again on his lonesome. I think they want to rinse and repeat the same type of a play here. So this mid fake Demo, he spotted the legs right there, tucking back through the smoke. And if they go B, there's just one player B.
Yops in connector now as well, and Demo's actually got underneath the scope.
Hades going to go down here, surely.
Oh, Hades is out. Oh, gets away. Hades reacts, misses the shot, and the peek on in. And Demo nearly transfers down for 2. And it is going to be that B play acceleration. Snappy needs to do better this time. Wasn't able to get a single pick, but this time it is stronger between him and Spinks. Just Tudson left. A big clutch needed on the way out the door, and he's not able to muster enough power to get it done. 10 for ENCE in the first half of play. They are now 6 rounds away from qualification to the PGL Major.
Okay, well, this now is going to come down to the Pistols, and we've spoken about this all throughout the series, how strong in this tournament so far Pistols have been for Anonymo. They've only faltered in 1 so far out of the 3 they've played. This would be a very good chance right now for them to pick up a pistol round and get back into those winning ways. Now, this CT side, we've been talking a lot about how, influential Innocent has been. He's going to need to be a lot more of that here. I think it's a chance now for Veggie and Tudson to start coming online. Askarish as well. And this CT half is where a few of those names definitely started to do some of their better work in their Mirage game against G2 just the other day. But siphoning through the utility here, a couple of smokes and flashes left on the ground. That will be scooped on up. A window smoke immediately deployed. It's going to be one player of Askarish towards Ticket. You're going to see pushing in towards the site of Innocent, and they're going to flash themselves out mid. A deep connector smoke, and they're actually running down towards A here.
Yeah, running up through a car, and Tudson's going to see everybody. Not actually been able to do anything about it. Does sprinkle a little bit of damage on the way out, but it will be tasked for the players inside of the site to get something out of this. Still a player inside of the firebox is Innocent undetected. Oh, swings out into Hades, and the headshot is so good. Finally a kill back for Oskarish, but there's still a lot more to be done here for the retake. Madden's playing on top of Triple, sees the heads. Now they know where he is, so they have to worry about his positioning, but there's so many plays you have to think about. And so that sets up Madden and Hades to just take some headshots. And Veggie now getting flanked as well. Spinks is around the backside, starting to display some damage, and Spinks will make that Glock look fantastic. I think that's something that Spinks actually did a great job at in this tournament, is making the Glock look good.
Yeah, not faltering. Look, we do talk about players shooting in pistols in the back of the head. Doesn't always go to plan right there, but good stuff for Spinks Aruni. And a couple of P250s were in the mix right here. You get to see both of them finding damage. Diha and Hades with a couple of big ones. And this one here, I love the way that they use that deep connector smoke, or get themselves up through that connector position. A bit of frustration here from Tudson not being able to hit the shots he was looking for. And Anonymo do love the full ecos. We're about to stomach another one here. This should be, without a doubt, the conversion for ENCE. How does this one go wrong? There's not even a flash in play. It's just going to be the pistols peeking after the smoke starts to fade. And another one's lobbed on in. So good luck, grey screen. Stare at that for another 20 seconds and swallow a massive HE.
Could it get any worse, really? Well, it could. You could actually have Snappy run into you with a Mac 10. That could probably get pretty dicey, and that's what's going to happen. They run into him. Snappy holds down M1 and gets himself 4 kills from it. Snappy often the SMG farmer, and he'll do a very good job at that. 12-5 now. ENCE 4 away. Good start into the second half, but here comes the buy from Anonymo.
Worst weapon for them to run into right there as well, right?
Gives them all the money.
One of the AKs. Snappy had so much cash. I was questioning whether he was going to drop an AWP across into the hands of Hades here, but they want to operate with majority rifles. Diha's going to be using his Mac 10. And maybe, just maybe, they want to keep this one fast. High in here for Anonymo. They've got up the M4s. enough nades to work with. No kit if the bomb does go down into these post-plant scenarios here, so keep an eye on that. Establishing some mid-presence, but using a lot of their nades to do so here. Anonymo. Diha's actually spotted that on the jump, so that information seems to have gone both ways. Demo isn't jump peeking back on in and just starting to piece this one together with quite a passive stance across the map from ENCE. You can see Snappy on the jiggle, and over towards spawn is Spinks. Quite literally in T-spawn, just smoking over towards the mid window now and dealing with any of those A pushes. So looking very likely to be, I was going to say a B play here, but they're going for mid control with a minute 10 on the clock.
This round is so important for Anonymo. They lose this, they're down to a weak buy again. ENCE are up to 13 rounds, maybe even 14, and at that point, recovering this and staying alive in the series becomes so difficult, almost unthinkable. So Anonymo need to hold strong here. ENCE starting to regroup and think about the B play. Jump spotting his demo. Short is the setup of his teammates. The support network is that. And Madden going through the underpass to apply some pressure towards connected, but ENCE are
smoke.
going to have to sit behind that.
They might go through it.
Oh, they're going to go with the flash. Oh, I love that from Diha. Straight away opens it up. Now they charge on in, but Veggie and Innocent are doing a very good job at holding with the utility. It betrays Veggie, pulls the nade out, and now Madden in position, cuts off rotations.
Oh, no.
It's all crumbling here for Anonymo. It's into a 2v1. Innocent left to do everything. He barrels through the molly, but he's down to 17. He's taken so much damage from this. He's got close up short though. And this might separate him into the 1v1s. Innocent has got the first pick, but Madden plays from bench, and that wasn't the position he was in just moments ago. So the calm is last seen jungle, last seen towards jungle. So surely he thinks about market, but Madden is very intelligently repositioned, and he'll wrap around the backside. Not a thought in the head of Innocent that he could be playing from there, and ENCE will close another round.
The trading was good on the side there from Anonymo, even though Diha makes it through the smoke and does get that kill onto Demo, but just not to be enough. Tudson trying to stop the bomb going down. Takes a bit of a risk, gets himself into the site, unable to convert that kill. And once he dies, it just leaves it all on Innocent here. 13-5 right now, and a mountain to climb as they will force in with a couple of deagles. They've left enough cash on over for a buy into the next round. But Anonymo right now are going to have to make quite the comeback to keep themselves in the game. And that right there is a way to kick it off. I think Innocent, he's had enough.
That's just a mid pick. Just a mid swing out the window and a 1D from it. Another one from Innocent. All right, this could get very exciting if Innocent starts to land a few of these in this round. He's found two already.
Was with an orb.
Yeah, he beat him. He beat him with a deagle versus the orb.
Okay.
All right.
Well, we were talking about how they need to make some comeback. This is the chance.
Another one?
Innocent. Try again. Why not?
Just send it. Make that blaze work. He's got his teammate close here. Voskarish his peak has a chance, but Diha shreds him open. Innocent's going to play from default. Ned lands right on top of him. Here comes the molly as well to force him into the wide fight. He's hit the shot, but not enough damage to bring down Diha. Diha, the destroyer, and Snappy still alive in this one, but there's 3 players up for Anonymo, and Diha is so low. A pistol could take him down with some body shots, even that Mac-10 as well. Diha's not in a position to really take risks, so has to use the cover and really try and land some of these headshots. They're still pinned here. They're still pinned at Tetris.
Well, they could drop back if they're quick about this, and they maybe even change the weapons across here because Snappy has this AWP. They are going to swap guns out. Diha with Bogdan's Law, and that's forced to rotation. Immediately, Anonymo have to respect this. They've just sent through the underpass. Tudson looking for this, trying to cut this off at the pass, and he will, but he's removed from the pack over towards window. Vegi's going to have to linger. And that just means it's Demo tucked in towards Ticket. They're allowing them in. They've rolled out the red carpet. Come and plant, they say.
Flash is set up. Now the shot from Vegi brings down Diha. It is only Snappy left in a 1 versus 3, and as soon as he plants, there should be a swing, and it will come out. It's assassination. It's a round for Anonymo, and Innocent gets them into it early.
Well, that could be resuscitation right there from Innocent. As, we're making up words over here today.
I like that one, Chad.
Resuscitation.
That's a good word.
Yeah, they're tussling back in here. But Innocent with 2 massive shots. That is one way to get the team back into the play. So we've had 3 out the gate from ENCE. The bounce back on this lighter buy, just the deagle upgrades for Anonymo. We'll get them their first round here on this CT. And that's the shot that you saw top mid just there, and the second towards the ramp. So really, really good stuff coming out of Innocent here to make an interesting round where it really shouldn't have been. That should have been a gimme for a 14th. And it is just Innocent 17 kills. The next closest on his team is going to be 11 of Demo, and trying to go toe-to-toe with the other side. Hades with 23, 17 for Madden here, 15 for Diha, 14 for Spinks, and 12 for Snappy. So, wow, the score tells the picture, but so does the scoreboard. Here's another little update from our B stream. 12 to the good over the 9 of Entropic. Heat just 4 rounds away from picking up that series in a 2-0 fashion and knocking Entropic out of major contention.
It's been a very rough showing for Entropic, a team that we had expectations for, and dropped the ball here in Bucharest. Setup coming in here for ENCE. It's a quick one out of spawn. Smoke's landing in towards the A side from the standard. They execute. Snappy's out towards Tetris. Innocent Smoke behind. And Snappy's getting some ground here already. ENCE in a good spot. Tudson, though, has taken out Spinks. That's the Palace player down. Snappy commits into the side. There's no stair smoke up there, right? So he's been able to get away with a pick. Innocent forced into it. Now we're down to the 4v4.
Are they going to back off, or are they just going to stick with this here because the rotation's in from Anonymo? They want to fight.
They're going into this. Demo's pushing forward. He's beyond the flash, but still, Demo will hit the deck. Madden swings on out. Oscarish swings with a double kill, and Snappy on top of the stairs, just knocking them down. It's just Veggie left. A 1 versus 2 up against Madden and Snappy. Well, he found one already, and it was a fake plant from Madden. He hasn't committed to it. And Veggie knows what side of the site he was on. A quick relocation here from Veggie. He's hopped out the window, down in towards Connector. Looking for the peek from short, and Veggie with some quick movement is able to remove Madden.
I think Madden had no idea that he had gone that far around the world. He was expecting a fight much closer than that, worrying about losing him in the thick of the triple box right there. But that one is a big clutch to win. And 2 impactful rounds back-to-back here for the Polish side of Anonymo. The Deagles were great. That clutch is better. And now maybe just throwing at least a little bit more time on the clock as far as this game. 13-7. The plant did come on through. They were able to get themselves a little bit more cash in towards the bank balance here to get at least an AK out. Are they going to force buy with the rest? It doesn't look likely. Lost bonus is starting to build right now. But that's, you know, we talk about chances. That was a chance for ENCE to get themselves up to 14 pretty easily here.
Yeah, absolutely was. Madden's on the AK. Out towards the mid-fight. It's worked, and he's got himself the opening pick.
Maybe making up for last round.
Tudson's pushed deep in the apartments here. Look at this. AWP's pushed all the way down through B. And the Spinks is coming back here. He's got the ball on his back. Oh, unscoped. Tudson very lucky to get out of there. What a nightmare situation was about to ensue there for Tudson.
Look at this space from Diha, though. No one's accounting for this.
Yeah, he's actually got his way all the way up. Connector takes
Not
that
ready
first
for it
pick.
at all.
Draws Veggie into it. Luckily, Veggie does reply. If he didn't there, that's a big problem. But
they've left B during
B is
all of
open.
this.
Yeah, B's open for them to dive into. Demo's trying to hold the cross off. He's done well to take out Snappy. Commitment to the plant now for ENCE. Demo just assassinating them again. This time, oh, so clean. Demolition once again as Hades dives down. Deagle into the clutch and won't be able to find the head of Veggie. A reply from Anonymo. A retake of the site. Does get a bit scary there as ENCE did come in with a weaker purchase. The bomb plant's going to bolster that economy going into the next here.
Yeah, it's sketchy, but it's still great from Anonymo to pull this one through, right? They continue to mount rounds now, 3 consecutive. The type of game that we're seeing right here fills you with the feeling that, oh, it's only a matter of time until ENCE break through. But if Anonymo keep posting rounds like this, if they keep snatching the victory from the jaws of defeat in some of these scenarios where they're down and out, their buys aren't as good, they're winning clutches, they're able to pull back number disadvantages like we've just seen again, the conversation can start to change here. This one isn't done yet. ENCE fans can't be celebrating too early. Still 3 more rounds to find, and they can break Anonymo over their knee here if they are able to pick up a round and no saves come on through, but they need to get one.
Well, Veggie plays up on the booster position of short as Hades run boosted out. Dodges all the early flak damage that he was anticipating from window. But Veggie, this is a strong position, but can be peaked from bench. But he has the vantage point of 2, and he lines both up. Veggie takes down Madden and Diha in one swift movement and disappears away from the spot.
Yeah, well, now it's ENCE's turn to try and respond in one of these number disadvantages. And with this type of a lead, sure, it's a 5-round game right now, but they surely can't be considering a save just yet. A minute left on the clock. The bomb now starting to find its way up through Connector, and not too far behind is Hades. But look at Snappy taking some space. This time, it is being accounted for from Scarish, but still will need to win this fight. On the cusp of the stairs, the A-ramp pressure to come, and they're just going to try and go wider on the angle here. Scarish easily lines him up, knocks him down. A double kill for him, and that should be it. Unless Spinks wants to win a massive 1-on-4. That's 2.
All right, Spinks. Now we start to believe, perhaps. Flash ain't great. but will allow him to move forward. He takes sandwich, steps to try and draw them into the fight. He wants these fights. He wants them to try and fight him and separate them into 1v1s. He wants to break them apart. Another one for Spinks, and now we're just down to Demo. Trying to take his team to a 9th round. Spinks wants 14, and he's climbed up on the balcony. A swift, intelligent reposition here. Spinks dives down to the site, gives him the pathway, the only pathway. The nade comes in, but he's dodged it. Oh, Spinks nearly gets it, but Demo will close it out. The heart rates rise for Anonymo, but now they cool down.
Really good attempt there again, right? So Spinks in the clutch this time round, but is going to be converted one more time. So these conversions of these tight situations keep going in the favor of Anonymo. Is this frustration starting to build over there for ENCE? And the other way, 15-9 now. Heat, the French side have almost done it. And actually the 4th tactical timeout called over here for the Polish squadron. Just want to have these last 30 seconds to have a discussion on how they can continue to keep closing things out here for the remainder of this matchup. It's going to have to be another half-buy scenario for ENCE. Their max loss bonus is in play, so manage those finances and get a buy again. But as I'm talking about, the rounds keep building. Anonymo keep getting closer and closer. They're chasing them on down here. That lead is whittled on down now. 4 consecutive, maybe even a 5th, as they've dealt with these lighter pistol buys before. Can they do it again?
I want to see what the call is here for ENCE. Everyone pointed towards A.
Looks like an A go for sure, right? Just and I'm not talking about the Polish team. I'm talking about a bit of an A execute. They've got plenty of smokes to do so. They've got the Molotovs as well. You can get that over towards the balcony position. Triple box in front of bench if it is a very standard execute here. Going to smoke off window just to deny that vision early. And lining this one up now is Hades.
Well, he'd have taken out Entropic. Here comes the play now from ENCE. Smokes. Deploying it into the site. Oscarish, oh, he's going into the palace fight. Actually works out really well. Takes out Spinks and the rifle. That was a power position for this round, and Madden now having to rattle into play. That Tech 9 has got a pick, but no one else from ENCE is finding ground, nor finding kills up until this point for Snappy. Oh! Runs through connector. A quick headshot, but recovered quite quickly there from Anonymo.
Definitely threatening, right? That seems to be the story of this game. Very threatening scenarios, but handled again. They swat them away. They deny ENCE the chance to get around on the board, and they will buy back in.
A little chit-chat here for ENCE.
Yeah, they've taken a timeout, so Saul right now is probably going to be calling the play, wanting to give them a little bit of inspiration in what they can do to try and close this down, because it didn't feel threatening before, but it definitely does now. I know it's still a 3-round game, but this can get away from them so quickly, and already has. So it's still a position of where just 1-round win is. We get a little bit of shuffling of hand warmers there from Hades, keeping himself busy during this 30-second conversation. He's not going to be into the AK, and actually for poor Spinks, it's going to be a Galil for him, so not the best of the buys. But they'll work with what they've got.
Anonymo on fire currently. But here come the rifles that look to break down their door. It's been close in rounds for ENCE. Very close to closing, but Anonymo have had the edge. Sinderi goes up towards the back of the mid boxes.
Looks like it might be a bit slower with this one here.
Taking the flash down mid, taking some control of middle. And actually accelerating a little bit here. Snappy getting up towards COD.
And gesturing that they're up close and personal as part of this default. Smoke is just going to bloom in time. Luckily, Innocent doesn't get the kill onto Hades, but Dihard does onto Veggie.
Now the play through the B apartment, smoke from Spinks. Does he walk this? It would be ill-advised. He has got his teammates coming up short. They can pull the attention of Demo away. Spinks can now swing. Spinks will get the pick. Innocent has got one, but is now forced back by the molly into the market, but he still has the avenue. He still has the window he can play with. And the bomb, luckily, has a fortunate bounce towards the side. But the kills for Anonymo keep coming in. Oscarish commits. A kill for Madden has drawn it back once again to the 2v2. Under a minute left as the bomb finally makes its way over to the site, and Madden has caught Innocent in the doorway. It is Tudson trying to get them the clutch to continue the rounds going forward in this streak. He's picked up the rifle instead. Madden is holding for his cross, and Tudson has to go into the crosshair. Madden sharp. 14 rounds for ENCE. 2 away now from knocking their way forward to the major.
That is actually a huge round to win, because I just flew over towards CT spawn after the buys came in. I saw them juggling the guns across. They actually overbought in the last round. They actually bought a FAMAS that nobody used.
Wow.
Nobody carried the FAMAS forward. So that's like $2 grand worth of cash money that isn't going to be able to be purchased into this next round of play. And now they're battling here against 15.
That's so rough.
Yeah, so that really does come back to haunt them here. An overbuy from Anonymo in a pressure situation does come back to bite them in the arse, and they've been able to get out this 1M4 into the hands of Innocent. He needs to get a lot done with this. And
what?
Ooh, okay. Could have been looking at the radar. Could have been focusing elsewhere, but not able to connect the dots on that one at all. They are going to be able to tuck on out just in time from middle here. And Veggie having a couple chances too on the Deagle to find this kill onto Madden. It feels like he should have been dead to rights on a couple of occasions there, but Tudson is. Snappy gets that, and that's the first on their way to 15 now for ENCE.
Headies, that is an awkward spray, and it hasn't gone his way. Innocent actually swings out from stairs with the distraction setup of his teammate and takes out Headies. So we're back at a 4v4. Oscarish, does he give it back here to Spinks? Does he give them the advantage again? Oh! Somehow the Deagle has landed the shot, and Spinks' rifle now sits in the hands of Oscarish. And once again, a chance here for Anonymo. Madden and Connector trying to fight them out. There's a lot of damage going the way of the Polish side of Anonymo, but bomb's going to go down here for ENCE. Innocent, a good pick. Snappy taken out. Madden doubling up now. Starting to break their hearts perhaps in this round. They thought there was a pathway.
Barrel.
Barrel spotted. Madden turned.
They're so low.
But it's Diha looking to close this one now. They are so low. They're the walking wounded back into this one, and Diha should confirm the remaining two positions. Seeing the ramp player. Diha quickly shifts out to the left side, but he has mullied himself.
Oh,
and because he's low,
nightmare.
he can't move forward into it. Diha's just going to hold him in spot. Diha just holds the time ticking. Diha's just playing with his foot now and swings out for the headshot for Oscarish, but because of the wasted time, the molly costs him, and there's not enough time to get to the defuse. It's a heartbreaking way to concede 15, but it will be that fact now.
Oh, the pressure of these last couple of rounds here, I think, have gotten to Anonymo as you can see very deflated looks on the faces now. Just one more round required. They have had their chances. Skarish has been getting the better of Spinks over towards that Palace position. You get the force out of the purchases again here to Famus and MP9, a couple of Deagles and an AK that was saved across. And this is it. Do or die right now, or ENCE will be getting this series done too. Oh, will be qualifying for that major. Will be locking themselves in. I think a lot of people would have said rightfully so.
Yeah, I think so. ENCE one of the teams on everyone's tongue, hot off the back of the EPL final. Here up against Anonymo, challenging for a major spot. Veggie swings out towards short. Madden has taken his life. Follow-up kill from D has created the opening towards B. And it looks like we're on our last legs of this game, Chad.
Yeah, it's just been way too many opportunities given away in these last few rounds here. The overbuy of the Famus, the unforced molly error right there, and now just two more staying alive as Skarish gets something back. Madden will trade this out, but it is just Innocent. He's been the hero of this team.
Well, a swing, and he will be taken out. ENCE are heading to the PGL Major in Antwerp. Not a large celebration from the team, as I'm sure they expected to go there as well, but they've got the job done. Madden seems to be happy enough about that. At least some fist bumps going about, but ENCE, they're just another day at the office here, getting the job done.
Yeah, good attempt at comeback there from Anonymo. They're not done just yet. They go down into the 2-2 bracket, and we'll have another opportunity to play tomorrow to still grab a spot over at that major. Nemo seems to have a smile on his face about things there, but it felt like the pressure of that situation maybe got a little bit too much to them towards the end. But all in all, an enjoyable game of Counter-Strike and a decent attempt there on the comeback.
Yeah, definitely so. I think ENCE, everyone expected them to be a team making it to the major, and they've done it in a fashion against a team that they should be favoured over. Is this giving you a lot of confidence now moving forward for ENCE?
Yeah, look, this is a mandatory win for them, right? One of the better opportunities they would have to qualify, and I think all the Polish fans out there can be happy they will at least